graphic, the most generational rivalries in the animal kingdom. Let's watch some videos. Hey! Oh, damn, that is vicious.
What you want to do? Scared? I ain't never been scared. You soft, good boy.
You know how much generational hatred it takes to rather have an op alive and crippled than just out the way? It's easy for us to forget, but for most animals, nature's a jihad from the jump, a gauntlet of grotesquerie, where if you die of old age, you're a spoiled minority. And with millions trying to survive at the same time, that can only lead to one: beef. And whether due to competition, an underdog finally biting back, or just an animal choosing problems over peace, you're gonna see that some animals have a genuine grudge sequence into their DNA. But two things.
Why? Okay, that is a good question. Why the hell is this turtle so racist? This see black and attack. Hello? Bro, why is there a racist turtle? It hates anything black.
Real quick. One, this is technically a remake of an older video, but as a rule of thumb, anything with iPhone 8 quality or Apple headphones for a mic should be disregarded. And two, while the facts and fades might be true, you're gonna hear me anthropomorphize animals a lot in this video and treat them like humans. But at the end of the day, animals are just playing the cards they were dealt and doing what comes naturally to survive. That being said, hating each other with prejudice-laced passion is what comes naturally to these two. Lions and hyenas might have a beef more infamous and more on sight than Tom and Jerry.
Damn.
It's one that involves spawn killing, Jujutsu Kaisen level jumping,
Damn.
calorie jacking, on both sides mind you, and the aforementioned handicapping. Lions and hyenas have generational beef that's been marinating for as long as they've been alive, and it's all thanks to the power struggle between.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, she childish for that, cause she see he can't run. He running for his life, and she just walking like, yeah, run, nigga. You get up on your good foot. Oh my god.
Generational beef that's been marinating for as long as they've been alive, and it's all thanks to the power struggle between an overgrown Afro kitty and a maligned mongoose on steroids. In some places, lions sit at the top, and in others, the Serengeti laugh track's the dominant predator. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I don't have a bias, but there are no good guys or bad guys. Both are apex predators that start off life as pint-sized cubs just trying to survive the brutal RNG of life. Something I truly wish on none of you. Lord of the Beast ain't a game you want to play, but maybe Beast Lord is. Beast Lord: The New Land is an animal-themed strategy mobile game with not only vivid levels.
W sponsor, man. Get that bread. Get that money on, gang. You know what I'm saying? WS, shout out to you.
But if you're a lion cub, there's about a coin flip chance your story ends before the first chapter, and the laugh-happy Vice trap has a lot to do with it. And obviously, Vice very much versa. But what if I told you this filiform family feud ain't even the worst beef lions have to deal with? You lose tough points when it takes 10 of you to press one of them. Nah, but the real roadblocks of this panther's pursuit of happiness?
Oh, I thought it was gonna be an elephant. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an elephant, but it's a fucking buffalo. I can see why.
The animal's so vindictive, folks nicknamed it Black Death and Widowmaker. Buffaloes stand on business, and they'll trap lions in trees for hours, and they'll even hit an Uno reverse and hunt the hunter. And with herds that can reach quadruple digits, they'll more than weaponize the power.
Yeah, they the jumpers. Surprised it's not hippos. I thought hippos would like really be beefing with was it alligators or crocodiles? I think it might be crocodiles. Or is it alligators? I don't know. It's one of them niggas. What's the difference? I forgot. But hippos do be putting them in a fucking pack. Yeah, Mountain Dew. We know that on this side. We're very in tune with the hippo. We know that these niggas, they don't actually swim. They run underwater. We know a lot about hippos enough to not fuck with a hippo, okay? You know? But still keep one as a pet. You're wildin'.
Friendship. Say what you will, I've never seen a hyena make a lion look like that. Not to mention they'll play keep away with a lion.
Hey, bro, they playing keep away with a fucking cub. Holy
cub, and it's all thanks to mobbing. And mobbing's exactly what you see here, and it's fueled by the beef between a rogue stealth assassin build without the bulk or squad advantage of lions and hyenas, and a highly intelligent, highly social tank of a primate. Divided, baboons are leopard lunch meat. United, and the leopard gets folded like an omelet. You know it's an iconic beef when the kids are involved, and both leopards and baboons will kidnap the young of each other. With leopards,
that is actually insane. Taking babies is crazy.
Some say it's a chess play to bait the baby's bigger, meatier parents. while baboons have enough foresight to cancel a cub before it can grow up into a problem. That's not the only theft they commit. Baboons are underrated predators.
They eat them? I'm sorry. It's like, as humans, we think we got it bad. You know what I'm saying? As humans, we think we got it bad. But imagine your baby gets stolen and eaten. Like, it's not bad enough that your baby gets stolen and died. Like, they ate that motherfucker. That was their lunch. And, like, if you don't leave, they'll probably run the fade on another one of your kids. And you just got to take that nigga out or he gonna keep doing it. You feel me? Like, it's like, that's insane. I don't want to live like that.
That'll turn a gazelle baby shower into a homicide and a happy meal, which means baboons aren't above pocket picking other predators, which makes it wild hypocritical that the same malice monkeys will ruin leopard hunts with an alarm call to warn their prey. It takes a special level of hatred to bread block a predator on the hunt.
Nigga said, hell no, hell no, hey, that nigga coming, hell no, run y'all. That's some op-ass behavior. Run, y'all, that ain't coming, y'all.
Alarm call to warn their prey. It takes a special level of hatred to bread block a predator on the hunt. It's like how we used to think humpback whales were the guardians of the sea for saving other animals from killer whales. Whole time it's an ancestrally traumatized cetacean going out of its way to interfere with orca hunts to make sure the zebras go home hungry. You see, the whale killers will often murk baby whales, and the humpback hood does not let that slide. And it's not just on sight. Any sense is an invitation. One time a pair of spite-powered humpbacks sabotaged a group of orcas after a gray whale calf and proceeded to harass them for 6 hours straight.
Damn.
Seals, sunfish, and apparently even penguins have benefited from the beef. As the humpback motto states, no orca alive shall prosper. And that's on pod. It might seem like the leopard gets grief religiously in this beef. Just know when the lights go out, it's a different story. In fact, it's the busted night vision and being the best tree climbing cat that makes it a bane to baboon. So I'd say it's pretty even. And if you're wondering what happened to him, he's fine. And the very next day, he was seen trying a trio of porcupine. So clearly his risk calculator's broken.
Okay,
but at least
yeah,
baboon...
that nigga might be a little retigger. I'm sorry, but like, are there like no common sense in like animal brains? Cause like, why are you going after a porcupine? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You might be hungry, but like, I'm for sure there's something else you could have found. You could have found. How you getting around this porcupine, bro? That's nothing but pain for that little bit of. Bro, the porcupine like probably like this big, and its spikes is up here. It's not as big as you think, bro. That's like eating a chicken nugget. All that pain for a chicken nugget, right? Where's the IQ? Like, bro, well, why are you? Find something else, bro. Could have made pizza rolls. Oh my god.
Baboons have numbers on their side against an athletically disrespectful feline. Imagine having problems with the biggest cat on the planet and having to run that fade solo.
Look at he playing with it. He hanging that monkey on one fucking finger there. Just hanging and playing. Like, yeah, I got you, nigga.
The tiger's the death stroke of the cat world, a walking census subtraction that'll take down gars, crocodiles, and tigers are on record eradicating elephants. They even dare go after bears, including the most homicidal one on the planet. The sloth bear's gotta be the most trigger happy of the bears, and it's all thanks to this thing I just made up called the predator-prey paradox. Basically, it means you're infinitely more fornicated in the fortune department if a moose presses you than if a bear, because with predators, you gotta convince them you're worth the effort, but an animal that already gets hunted will turn you into a was before they take time to judge your intent. Real-life Baloo often gets bodied by tigers.
Did that nigga know? Did he know that a moose was right on his sack, right there? Boy, I would have gotten that shitted. Bro, like...
will turn you into a...
He walks in so slow and calm. Like...
Bear, because with predators, you gotta convince them you're worth the effort, but an animal...
Look!
that already gets hunted will turn you into a was before they take time to judge...
Nah.
your intent. Real-life Baloo often gets bodied by tigers and leopards. Also, most of their diet is insects, and the same claws that help them break into termite apartments means they can't just climb from the smoke like some other bears. which means what you got here is a high-strung insect eater with predator hardware. It's like a giant honey badger, and they're so unpredictable that folks actually fear them more than they do tigers. Not for no reason, because despite having a bigger population and a wider range, brown bears actually murk half the people this floppy-faced anxiety attack does. But you see, the thing with tigers, bears can make up to 5% of their diet, and they usually target cubs or moms with cubs. The tiger trauma runs so deep that since tigers have been known to imitate sandbar deer while hunting them, sloth bears got Pavloved into panicking at the sound of real deer. So what you got here is a beef between a predator and prey that opts for fight over flight. Sloth bears will square up to a tiger head on, and the sheer balls of facing them can intimidate
a bear come
over flight.
Look. A bear come at me like that and get on, bruh.
Bears will square up to a tiger head on, and the sheer balls of facing
fuck no. Fuck no. Hell no. Hell no.
Them can intimidate inexperienced tigers that don't know anything. The ones that do prefer to catch them slipping at the termite mound, ambushing the sloth bear and going for its neck. Because once a slothy has to grapple with a giant house cat, it's up for him. But even then, the equalizer of Asia better come correct, and sloth bears instinctively go for the face, and even in a losing effort, the bear can cripple the tiger. Especially when it's a mother ready to die about her baby. And I was not kidding, put the aggressive Volca in a higher weight class and lions would have the same problems. And like any great beef, both sides have a healthy level of respect and fear, where sloth bears usually avoid tigers and tigers are generally wary of bears. Meanwhile, the next beef has one animal.
That looks like something you fucking don't even poke with a stick. Good lord, look at his fucking teeth.
2020 had a lot of headlines, so many that you probably forgot the murder hornet subplot.
I did not. I don't fuck with them things to this. I actually love seeing them die. You know what I'm saying? Save the bees, for sure. Even though I don't really fuck with bees, you know what I'm saying? Save them because we need them. But kill them motherfucking hornets. Get them the fuck out of here. You know how niggas be using gasoline and they just be dropping in the little container? Like, it kills all the oxygen, so they just drop and die. I love them videos. Yeah, kill them niggas. Get them going. Down with the wasp. Down with the hornets. Down with the, you know what I'm saying? I love those videos though. Use a flamethrower so they can be flying and on fire. Hell no. Use the gasoline. Nice little, you know.
These were Asian giant hornets. And they are.
Ooh. That's a bee to a hornet. Ooh.
Pretty much Black Air Force energy in the form of a bug. Their sting is sharp enough to poke through gear beekeepers normally wear. And their finishing move literally involves decapitating their prey with their mandibles.
Oh, they gotta die.
In Japan, these homicide hornets knock off 30 to 50 people a year, and it's not just people getting put on shirts. They also severely bully bees, and unlike bees, they can sting multiple times, can deliver 10 times the venom, are 5 times bigger, and are built like a tiny armored fighter jet. That's how murder hornets can obliterate entire beehives. So when the Asian hornets started popping up in the US, people were understandably shook, and it was believed only one bug could stand up to the aerial assault. The praying mantis is straight up oppressive, an ambush hunter that has lizards, frogs, fish, and even small birds on its body count. They have wings, but they
praying mantis is really like I feel like one day we need to do a deep dive on a fucking praying mantis because they're so OP, it's actually insane. If you really fucking think about how, like, just insane. Bro, if they were human-sized, we wouldn't be sitting here having this motherfucking conversation. They had to be nerfed. They had to be nerfed. And they're still insane. They had to be nerfed, bro. They eat their partners and they take their heads off, bro. Like, let's talk. Like, this little nigga is eating birds and squirrels and shit. If that, bro, even if they were fucking cat-sized, we'd probably have a problem. To be honest, if these niggas grew to the size of a regular house cat, we'd have a problem. They don't even need to be human-sized.
They rarely fly, because in a world of fight or flight, they've been made their choice. And in 2020, a video would go viral of a mantis murking a hornet, going for brain like a sapio. In the wild, it's a different story, and it's often hornets that get caught packing up praying mantises. They're arguably the only insect that can give 10% of the Furious 5 problems. But as you can see, a mantis won't miss a chance to settle the score, but who has the upper hand in this rivalry? Unfortunately, it might not be who you want. According to scientists, it's usually the mantis taking the L, so much that mantises are actually a well-documented source of food for the hornets.
What?
And while the God-fearing kung fu roaches get their licks in when they can, pretty much everything has to go right for them to come out on top. But also, the people how the Terminator termite ripped off its legs before eating it alive. Don't try and tell me this ain't personal. The sad truth is, this hornet was actually anesthetized before it got manhandled. They literally had to nerf the hornet to gift wrap a W for the mantis. The mantis might not be the answer against the buggy bug.
He just eating that nigga's head. Shit. He was like, just like scooping it in his mouth like it was soup or something. God damn. Jesus, bro. He was munching on that shit.
Literally had to nerf the hornet to gift wrap a W for the mantis. The mantis might not be the answer against a buggy bug, but damn it if they don't give them a fight. Hell, so do bees. The honeybees have been known to swarm an offending hornet and vibrate so hard, they literally cook the wasp alive. And while both bees and mantises get their moments, this is the first beef to have human intervention. But it's not like the next beef, which was 100% caused by humans. The heaviest snake on the planet is the green anaconda, and the second heaviest is currently slithering all over Florida. The Burmese python can measure nearly 20 feet long, weigh up to and over 200 pounds, and kills anything from dogs to deer to birds to bobcats. Normally you'd have to go to Southeast Asia to see them, but thanks to Florida's fetish for food, along
hell no, hell no, hell to the fuck no. Oh my god.
With illegal pet releases, the same predator that puts the noose in nuisance is now a legitimate part of the population. They were first seen in the Everglades in 1979. Today, they're hundreds of thousands strong. There's even a theory that in 1992, Florida folded to Hurricane Andrew, which leveled a python breeding facility and allowed them all to escape. Today, it's believed that for every one python that gets sighted, there's hundreds if not up to 1,000 that don't. And with 30,000 sightings from 2008 to 2010, safe to say Florida's officially finding out. The problem is, back in Burma, they have tigers and leopards to keep them in check, but here, there's only one animal that can hope to stop them. Alligators are a prehistoric assault weapon, and on the rare, they've been known to murk cougars and black bears. And as predators without prejudice, they'll also feed on smaller snakes like the python. The problem is, once pythons get big enough, they'll eventually spin the block and cook gators. So now what you got is a sledgehammer with teeth and a leather straitjacket in an arms race constantly trying.
I ain't gonna lie though, that's a fight I'd watch. I just have to watch from a distance. I'd legit watch an alligator and a snake battle it out. Oh my god.
Trying to eat each other, and I'm still not doing the beef justice. When the Bane of Burma swallows an alligator, its body goes into overdrive. Its heart rate increases, organs like its heart, kidneys, and liver all get bigger, and its metabolism hits another gear. Not only can a python digest a whole alligator in only a week, if Dr. Steven Secor of the University of Alabama is right, it actually takes less energy for them to down a gator than other options like rats or pigeons. I bet you think that's metal. Wait till you hear what he pulls. Because pythons will actually read their victim's heart rate while squeezing them to death, so they know when to stop. Problem is, alligators can slow their heart rate all the way down to 2 to 3 beats a minute. This means the snake can end up calling it too soon and prematurely start swallowing the gator alive, only for it to struggle hard enough to bust through the snake like a messed up jack-in-the-box.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. That explains all of those pictures. That's actually insane. That's fucking crazy. Hold on.
2 to 3 beats a minute. This means the snake can end up calling it too soon and prematurely start swallowing the gator alive, only for it to struggle hard enough to bust through the snake like a messed up jack-in-the-box. Well, they both died, but nothing says beef more than if I'm going down, best believe death taking this 2 for 1. That's how ugly competition can get. And this is the other side. Foxes and owls have no love lost, and it's for the classic reason of them pretty much having the same grocery list. Also, foxes will swipe owl chicks, and some owls like the eagle owl will murk them right back. But it's the snowy owl and the Arctic fox that run into each other the most, especially with the white Air Force building nests on the ground and foxes being willing to steal from anyone. Most of the time though, it's a lot of this, a lot of posturing and a whole lot of hold me back. Whether it's an owl-fox feud or a reptile dysfunction, most animal rivalries just start with them trying to put food on their plate. But what about a beef between animals working together? Octopus will straight up deck fish in the face, and according to science, it's a case of workplace assault. Octopus and fish like groupers often team up to hunt, since the octopus can chase prey through coral crevices, and if the prey tries to do the race in open water, they get got by the grouper. You see 2 problems. 1, in a partnership, someone's bound to get shorted, and 2, octopus are smart enough to hold grudges and just do stuff out of spite.
She tried eating an octopus alive and what?
Shorted, and 2, octopus are smart enough to hold grudges and just do.
She tried eating an octopus alive and he wasn't having it. But oh, look at how far back that motherfucker pulled her eye. Oh, look at how her whole eye socket is out. God damn.
Do stuff out of spite. An octopus named Truman decided he wasn't rocking with one of the researchers, so every time he'd see her, he'd give her the old siphon saltwater shower. Eventually, she would go off to college and then come back months later to visit, and at that point, Truman hadn't been on disrespectful timing in a minute. Yeah, that streak ended the moment he saw her, as he super soaked her on sight. So octopus that feel like they're getting cheated in a partnership are much more likely to get punchy. Sometimes they'll lash out just to keep the fish in line. And sometimes if an octopus got backdoored in the past, they'll just project it all over a new fish that didn't even do anything. And since octopus can hunt with several fish at a time, they'll even get petty and ban the offender from the entire hunting party for the aquatic crime of embezzlement.
Really looking for
That's
another
why
nigga to
one
punch.
of the worst things to beef with is intelligence.
Oh
just
my
ask
God.
coyotes, since ravens and coyotes often end up scavenging for the same scraps, especially when they belong to wolves. But of course, the generational instigator, the raven, will straight up snitch on coyotes trying to pinch off the wolf pack. And while Wiley's running for his life, what does the raven do but fly directly over him like a helicopter during a police chase?
Hell no.
Imagine getting violated by a wolf pack, all because a goth tweety put a hit out. Last thing you want to do is make enemies with an animal smart enough to do something about it. Something a city in South Africa is learning the hard way, because Cape Town's currently being overrun by baboons.
What?
And like most things, it's our fault. Because no matter what you tell them, there's always going to be tourists feeding panhandling primates. The only issue is baboon society runs on bullying, where dominant monkeys will basically steal the lunch money of lower ranks. So not only do baboons not fear humans, but because people kept feeding them, a lot of them see all humans as low ranks and treat them like it.
No.
And they've gotten OD disrespectful about it. Cape Town baboons have been known to break into houses.
What? I'll take a bat to these little motherfuckers. Oh God, Mountain Dew, I'll beat the shit out of one of them little niggas. Hey, listen, probably can't allow guns in Cape Town, but you can't tell me I can't have a bat. Hey, swing.
To raid fridges, they'll mug small children, and you can even get carjacked by a whole troop. Thanks to the Cape Nature Conservation Laws Amendment Act.
Didn't one of them steal like Logan Paul's fucking bag in his prime, like a year or two ago, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, fuck that. Fuck out of here.
It's illegal to feed, trap, poison, or kill the monkeys, meaning these habitual line steppers are above the law. In 2011, a man went to court
what?
Kill the monkeys. Thanks to the Cape Nature Conservation Laws Amendment Act, it's illegal to feed, trap, poison, or kill the monkeys.
I won't kill him. That nigga will be alive. He just won't be conscious. Knock that nigga clean the fuck out.
Monkeys, meaning these habitual line steppers are above the law. In 2011, a man went to court over shooting a baboon after he said 8 of them broke into his kitchen and started attacking him and his wife. But with thug monkeys also stealing crops, some people said F it and started fighting back. And not only do the monkeys end up getting hurt or murked, it only makes the baboons lash out even harder.
Hey, pellet gun? Yeah, it's not gonna kill him. But you know what,
That's not the dental of an animal you want problems with. But at the end of the day, the baboons are just doing what comes naturally, and they wouldn't even have to be on timing if we didn't go and build a city on their front lawn. Plus, a baboon can go through your trash can and find more nutrition in 30 seconds than it would in 6 hours of foraging, so we can't be mad at them for working smarter. All we can do is what every other animal in this video already does, and just find a way to deal with it, even if it means a baboon takes your hood pass. But that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your mother. Father too. Yo, for real, stop trying these monkeys, man. I promise you won't like how that story ends. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
WVid. WVid. Shout out to Casual Geographic. Another banger. Alright, man, look. We got some Casual Geo. He done dropped another banger on us. It's cute animals, but they slowly get worse for your health. Let's look at it. Oh no. Cute.
I think a common theme on this channel is cute animals being and serving humanity haunting pretty privileged merchants. And that's what this video is about, and the further we go, the higher your chances of being turned full-time horizontal.
Okay.
Before I do say this, when I call something a homicidal menace, that's just me using hyperbole to season a sentence. I'm not actually trying to get y'all to go out and drop kick an otter or something. Ultimately, these animals are just trying to survive and are doing what comes naturally, so you can't really judge them by human moral standards, even though that's literally what I'm about to do. And starting off, this is not your average mouse. First of all, it's a straight up carnivore. In their defense, that's not exactly crazy. Squirrels have been known to raid nests and eat the baby birds inside. But no.
I didn't know that. Excuse me? Bro, since the fuck when?
No other rodent is more of a meat eater than the grasshopper mouse, and its grocery list can include anything from insects, worms, and spiders to mantises, scorpions, and desert centipedes.
Oh my
AKA
God.
the same cursed crawly that nearly unsubscribed Coyote Peterson from existence. Grasshopper mice will even murk and eat snakes.
Snakes? Oh my God, bro, what the fuck? Oh, I don't like centipedes. I don't like centipedes, but god damn. Nah, this is actually, this nigga, he bout that. This rat from O Block, gotta be. He not from 63rd. That's what he said.
Basically, you remember that episode where Jerry took PEDs and nearly put Tom in a tombstone? That's the grasshopper mouse times 1,000. This mighty mouse even developed a resistance to the crippling venom of ops like the Arizona bark scorpion.
Oh,
Not
hell.
only can they tank hits that would flatline animals 100 times their size, this rogue rodent shuts down the pathways
Jesus
the
fuck, stop showing that shit!
toxin takes to cause pain. Meaning, this mouse essentially evolved to be impervious to the pain caused by venom. It can feel pain, it's just not gonna come from a scorpion.
God.
That's not even the only thing about them. These mice stalk and hunt their
Stop
prey
fucking
exactly
showing
like
this shit.
cats. This homicidal hamster will even howl after catching a body to mark their territory. Take a listen.
Nigga sound like a fucking, what's them fucking teapots? Nigga sound like, nigga let out a teapot scream after he kills somebody. Oh my God. This is warrior call, fuck.
So imagine being a scorpion, right? Millions of years of evolution. Your ancestors were apex predators and you have biological warfare on your side. All that for a pint-sized weremouse to be your downfall.
Damn.
Not even other mice are safe.
He just
Grasshopper
chewing
mice
his
regularly
ass.
eat other rodents, and cannibalism is not off the table. In fact, there was a story of a scientist keeping a grasshopper mouse and making the mistake of leaving it alone with a lab rat 5 times its size. In the few minutes he walked away and returned, there was one less mouse and the #1 suspect feeding on the carcass.
Oh my
Proof that even the
God.
most innocent-looking platter can serve death. Especially since the predator
Ah,
with the
stop
highest body
showing
count
me
is not
shit!
what you'd expect. No other mammal catches more bodies than the Etruscan shrew. They're one of the smallest mammals alive and they weigh less than 2 Skittles. The shrew
Two
is so small
Skittles?
that the only way they can survive is by killing more prey than any other animal. Basically,
What?
if this candy-sized carnivore doesn't eat twice its weight in food every day to fuel its metabolism, they'll essentially freeze to a flat line. So the Etruscan shrew has to end a life every 2 hours or so, and they hunt by biting their prey through the head to disable it and then tearing it apart
Oh
before
my
another starving
God.
shrew can get to it. Just for reference, if I had to eat twice my weight in food every day, I'd be scarfing about 680 Big Macs every 24 hours. And even then, at least I don't have to hunt the burger. By the time I get to the drive-thru, the job's already done. But the shrew does have a weapon, and it's being one of the very few mammals on Earth to weaponize venom. According to studies, some shrews are toxic enough to delete 200 mice, and while they're too small to turn a human to a hashtag, it's still capable of causing pain and allergic reactions. Not only that,
Oh my
but some shrews
God.
are able to catch a calorie come up underwater, since some are able to smell out.
Excuse me? Excuse me? It can smell underwater? Not only is this nigga on lead and kindling shit, he go underwater killing shit?
Prey even while being completely submerged. Yeah, they're a whole mint-sized menace, but too small to be a legit threat to us. That's not going to be true for some of the animals coming.
Oh my-
And up next, this bird probably looks no
course.
different from something you'd expect in a garden. Except
Crow?
it's only found in the islands of the Galapagos, and to survive, they've come up with some nasty tricks. They've been nicknamed Darwin finches since they actually helped prove Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Long story short, different finches ate different foods and so developed different size and shaped beaks. One finch evolved to finesse an easy meal by pecking at the skin of bigger birds and drinking the blood that spills out.
Dog, nah, that's crazy. Y'all, you don't feel that? Reverse Magic Johnson. Okay, man.
Finesse an easy meal by pecking at the skin of bigger birds and drinking the blood that spills out. Are birds even f***ing real? And scientists believe up to 10% of this flying leech's diet is seabird blood, and their favorite victim is a bird called the booby. Don't laugh, it's not funny. It's not funny. Popular opinion says that it started with the finches picking parasites off the birds, but after realizing they could live off the marinara that would often leak out, the vampire finches started turning the birds into booby blood banks. They literally became everything they sought to destroy, and they're skilled enough to know how much damage to do to get a ragu reward without doing too much and losing a future victim. Yeah, these birds drink nothing but blood, which they kinda have to since freshwater in the Galapagos is in less supply than lawyers in heaven. But
Oh
it
my
also means
God.
that even though they can fly, Arab would be completely useless to them. But not to you, because Arab's flavor pods uses scent flavors
Hey,
to
sponsor. Let me skip over. No, say get your bread up.
dirty pennies, you know. It's just too bad finches don't drink water, otherwise Arab would save more boobies than free mammograms. Not only do they grief bosom birds, but finches will often roll eggs out of nests and crash them in the rocks just for some easy protein.
Not only is you fucking up the parents, you killing the babies before they even hatch? Dang.
They're not even the only birds on that kind of timing. The New Zealand keel will use that Swiss Army knife of a nose to cut into sheep and eat the fat right off their backs. And sometimes they freak the sheep out so much they yeet themselves off a cliff trying to get away.
Oh
At least
my
the keel
God.
and the vampire finch are only harmful to your mental. From here on out, that is the last time that statement will be true. Because this live-action plush toy is also on the short list of venomous mammals.
Of course it is.
The slow loris is a Southeast Asian primate armed with toxins.
Oh, look at his fingers! Look at his little finger. Oh, God. Oh, what if he, like, touched you? Oh, my. His face, like, his eyes are adorable, but look at them fucking, look at them fingers. Them the fingers of niggas that you don't want touching you because they got, like, little fingernails with big oh, my.
Real damage to a human. They have a gland on their arm that produces a chemical that becomes highly toxic when mixed with saliva. So when this imitation lemur sees you and puts its hands up, it's not a sign of surrender, it's a promise to ascend ya. We talking straight soul eviction. In 2012, a biologist was bitten by a slow loris, and this was him after 1 hour, and this was Buddy after an hour and a half. Since the toxins contain chemicals similar to cat allergens, this venom monkey can trigger anaphylactic shock in people. They can get the first animal here that can perform landscape work on your family tree. We used to think this malicious muppet used venom against predators, but it turns out it's for friendly fire. They usually use it in feuds with other lorises, and the flesh-melting toxins can cause necrosis, meaning the loser loris can lose an eye, a toe, their scalp, and even part of their face. It's so bad, but one of the most common causes of loris.
And look, I ain't gonna lie. With the light on, it's cute, but look at this little demon thing. This shit should not be existing. Look at it.
It's getting bit by a rival. An 8-year study done on about 80 slow lorises found that over 20% of them were seriously maimed in conflicts, with some missing eyes, ears, fingers, toes, and more. It's nasty work, and it puts the slow loris on the very short list of animals that use venom against their own kind. And it's no coincidence that one of the others is next. 2 things about platypuses the public should know. One is at about 6 pounds and less than 2 feet long, they're way smaller than you think. And 2 is that they're violently venomous.
Really?
Males have an ankle spur that they use in fights, and like the loris, the consequences of losing are incredibly painful. In 1991, Australian veteran Keith Payne was struck by a platypus, and in his own words, the immediate pain was far worse than getting struck by shrapnel. And it only got worse. The excruciating pain didn't go away after a month, even after he was shot up with morphine. And just how much pain are we talking? Well, according to him, just the weight of a warm towel on the sting caused incapacitating agony.
Oh my God.
Even 15 years after, he claimed to still be in discomfort, and this guy wasn't sweet or nothing. He actually earned the highest honor of the British Armed Forces for his performance in the Vietnam War. Same guy apparently got folded by a beaver otter cosplaying as a duck.
Oh my God.
And it's because platypus venom manipulates nerve cells to trigger pain in a way that can have you down.
Excuse me? Nigga said manipulates nerve cells. You fucking with the nervous system? So, like, your body's not in real pain. Your nerves just think you are. Oh, my God. I ain't gonna lie. Doofenshmirtz was right. That nigga gotta go. Perry gotta go. Hell nah. Perry got to go.
Down horrendous for weeks, and not even enough morphine to roofie a rhino can bail you out. That's how you know Perry had love for the doof. He could have had a pharmacist every flavor of up if he wanted to. That's why if you see 2 male platypi fighting, you'll often see the loser spend days rolling around and scratching. That's a platypus in crippling agony. And you can expect the same symptoms if you F around and find out with the next animal.
Oh my
Even
God.
though it's barely an inch long. Most people know why playing with a Portuguese man of war is bad for your health. You heard me say most. The man of war is notorious for excruciatingly painful stings that they inflict on thousands a year. Not only can it cause nasty ruts like this, in worst case.
Oh my God! Oh God! Oh God! I literally felt that in my. I had to like look at my arm to like make sure I wasn't going through that pain. Right? My skin is crawling. Oh my God! I'm not rewinding that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Oh my God! That was terrible.
Scenarios, it can trigger severe allergic reactions that can block your airways and suffocate.
Not only are you doing that, you're suffocating me? Oh, God.
Most people know not to touch them, but a lot of those same people would do this. This is Glaucus atlanticus, and more specifically, it's a tiny sea slug nudibranch. And what these
oh, but they're so pretty.
boneless snails do is steal poison from other animals like anemones by eating them and storing the toxin in those weird fingertips growing out of their back.
Excuse me? This nigga like Kirby. He's just sucking up on the poisons and administering it. Excuse me? I can't keep. Why were these invented? These do not further the earth. What? Where? Just what? Just.
It's cultural appropriation, but with poison, and the glaucus does it to the man of war. Which is why even though a 2-inch glaucus is an overachiever, holding one and getting stung can lead to nausea, vomiting, allergic reactions, and you guessed it, pain. In fact, many think because the poison they steal is so concentrated, their sting is actually more powerful than the jellyfish understudy they take it from. Moral of the story, this is what it looks like to put a dent in your family's bloodline. Pro tip, if an animal's that small and goes out of its way to be seen, touching it's a great way to see your ancestors. I couldn't find a case of someone being seriously hurt by this tiny assault slug, so it's another example of an animal being too small to truly punish ignorance as often as they could. Completely different from the animal up next, because real talk, if you haven't seen them in person, you would not believe how big they actually get. We all know Steve Irwin, may God rest his soul. And
Low-key, he was wilding the fuck out. Low-key. With the baby in hand is crazy. I don't know how they allowed that. You know? Like, I fuck with Steve Irwin, you know what I'm saying? We fuck with Steve over on this side. But why do I feel like that was baby Steve Irwin? You know what I'm saying? But with a baby in hand, it's crazy.
And his son and shadow clone, Robert Irwin.
Yep, I knew it. I knew he was holding his son in hand. I knew it.
Just like his father, Robert got the same animal lover's gene, but there is one animal he's terrified of, and you probably never guess it. According to him, the animal that scares him the most and has the most smoke for him, it's crazy, right? That's a wombat, and yeah, they really do get that big.
Damn!
And in the words of the spawn of khaki animal Jesus, crocodiles are apparently easier to work with than wombats, since wombats are bloodthirsty psychopaths.
Oh my god, look at his eyes, bro. What the fuck?
And while he probably was exaggerating a little, wombats still ain't the ones to play with. At 25 miles per hour, wombats are fast enough to catch a chicken.
Excuse me? Look at his little feet. Boy, that bitch was taking off.
Wombats still ain't the ones to play with. At 25 miles per hour, wombats are fast enough to catch a ticket in a school zone and more than fast enough to catch you.
Oh my god, bro. Look. Nah, that nigga diesel as the fuck. Look.
5 miles per hour, wombats are fast enough to catch a ticket in a school zone and more than...
Look how buff it looks. That shit look buff as the fuck. Look at it.
Fast enough.
Oh, hell no. That shit looks like a stuffed animal bear literally taking like life and running at you, bro.
To catch you off guard. They have a tough cartilage reinforced butt that they use to crush the skulls of their enemies against their burrows. Yeah, getting your life subscription terminated through twerking is a possibility if you're an op to a wombat. But more importantly, they have jaws more than capable of tearing chunks out of your ankles and calves, which is what these furry bowling balls usually go for. Victim Carrie Evans was hospitalized with over 20 bites and lacerations after she was mauled by the evil bulking twin of the quokka. And in 2020, a family nearly got squad wiped by a wombat after the one they were raising for a TV show turned on them, mauling his owner and handing out work to any kin that tried stepping in without prejudice. Buddy almost folded 4 generations of people, and it took a whole axe to get him to act right. And that's not even mentioning the damage an angry fur meatball can do to your car. Moral of the story, if anyone in this man's bloodline don't rock with him, neither do I. The problem is, 99% of the population rocks with pandas and forgets it's still a bear that was made after the printer ran out of color. It's still a bear, and you can have a panda bear, a yogi bear, or nose candy bear. If it ends in a B-E-A-R, you'll be last seen in an ER, if you even get that far. So fun fact, gorillas have a stronger bite force than grizzly bears and can crack a coconut, and that's because they spend so much of their time crushing vegetation. As bamboo merchants that commit 16 hours a day to binging it, giant pandas might have the most underrated bite in the entire animal kingdom.
Look at his little teeth. Hold on, chat. But the little teeth, though.
Giant pandas might have the most...
Look at his little... The fangs is crazy, but the little teeth right between them, they're just so cute. Look. Little teeth.
Rated bite in the entire animal kingdom. A study was done comparing the bite force of carnivores relative to their body size using a value known as the bite force quotient. African lions were given a bite force quotient of 124. The jaguar, believed to be pound for pound the strongest cat, earned a 137. And while being smaller than both, African painted dogs flexed a bone-crushing 142. And where did giant pandas fall? With a BFQ of 151, giant pandas scored a bronze medal on the bite force scale, only behind the least weasel and an assault and battery happy Looney Tune. That's strong enough to rip flesh, tear tendons, and shatter bone. The thing is, pandas have all the tools of a predator, but with gerbil software. But even though this giant cow rabbit doesn't know how to kill, they can be persuaded into trying, and it's usually in zoos. In 2006, a tourist had a chunk of his calf ripped off by a pissed off panda after he tried to pet it.
Oh my god!
In 2009, a tourist fell into an enclosure and also paid a calf tax. Later the same year, another tourist managed to fall into an enclosure and the barcode bear nearly turned him into a serial number on a police report, ripping off parts of his foot and elbow.
Oh my god! little teeth is not so little in right now, bro. Golly.
Won Huanxi sued the government and won for over $80,000. The reason was because officials had chased a giant panda onto his land and a generationally heated bear crushed Guan's leg like a celery stick.
Oh, fuck! Look at his leg. Oh my god.
And my personal favorite story. A man tried wrestling a biracial black Air Force to impress a woman and inappropriately got partially handled. He wasn't hurt, but the bear bodied him and even shredded his pants in the process, which was the closest he'd get to foreplay that entire day. It's no secret there's no end to the copious amounts of bull effery in the ocean, but there's still some animals people let slide, especially if they've been in a movie. One of these fish can do you dirty, and this time the clown's not it. The regal blue tang is actually venomous, with caudal spines sharp enough to slice open skin, and when threatened, they'll whip their bodies from side to side. It's like a junkie waving a broken bottle at you, and the deep lacerations it can cause are almost guaranteed to get infected. And thanks to a certain Pixar movie, there's at least one kid out there that got a bacterial infection just because Ellen DeGeneres played a fish well. Not only that, but the blue tang is toxic to humans and can cause ciguatera poisoning to the people that eat it. An even worse mistake when people try it with the next animal, because the cute derp guppy is one of the most poisonous things alive.
Oh, look at
the toxin animal, because the cute derp.
Look at it. Look at that nigga, bro.
Guppy is one of the most poisonous things alive. The tetrodotoxin in one pufferfish can bury 30 people. It's about 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide, and there's no actual antidote. All that and Mrs. Puff's ex is still considered a delicacy. The fugu blowfish is a prized dish in Japan, but it's also Russian roulette, because if the chef misses by even 1/10 of an inch, it's the customer that gets cooked. Here's what would happen if you got poisoned. In about 10 minutes, your mouth would go numb and you would start to feel dizzy and unreasonably tired. You'd get an overwhelming headache to go with nausea, and it'd slowly get harder and harder to breathe. Eventually, you'd get so exhausted you'd fall asleep and likely never wake up.
Damn.
And until then, you would have been conscious for everything. It's just that you'd be paralyzed and unable to talk or move. The only thing people could do to save you is pump your stomach, put you on life support, and God on speed dial. It's said that up to 100 people get flatlined by fugu a year, and most of that are people that try it at home, which means by the time they realize they messed up, they can't run, call, or even scream for help.
Damn.
All they can do is struggle to get air and watch everything turn black like the end of Sopranos. But not even fish fentanyl has a higher body count than the last animal. A lot of people think snails are cute, yet snails are partially responsible for crossing 200,000 names off the census a year.
What the fuck?
Is a parasitic disease caused by worms, with millions affected right now, and those worms are released by snails. The sickness is most common in tropical third world countries with limited access to clean fresh water. With about 700 million people living in at-risk areas, it's one of the most devastating parasitic diseases of all time, only second to malaria. And even if snails aren't the primary suspects, with them taxiing the bug, at the very least they're accomplices. Now you see why folks almost put Gary on a shirt. Mad snail disease wasn't a joke. But that's gonna do it for this video. Be sure to follow my TikTok and Instagram for more consistent content as you wait for the next video. Check out my book, 100 Animals That Can Effing End You. You might just see some of the guys from today on there. If you'd like to further support this channel, becoming a patron on Patreon earns you access to exclusive content, videos before I post them, and you can even help vote on what I cover in future videos. Other than that, make sure you drink water, hug your parents. Yes, parents, we're inclusive now. And I'll see y'all in the next one. As long as y'all don't do something like this. Please don't. Alright, peace out.
Oh, you little platypus. That'd be red though. She'll get around. Some little niggas is murderers. Alright, man. We got some casual geographic. This is why this bird could be a threat to international security. Let's get it.
Not even Dr. Seuss on Adderall in the deadline.
Ew! Why is its face so big compared to its... Oh my god, ew.
Could cook up a bigger threat to national security than this bird. Owls are like real-life cryptids. Avian aliens that overslept and missed their return flight home. If cameras weren't real and you'd never seen one, you would not believe this bird existed on the same planet. And that's all the intro we need, because we can start right here, with an owl giving you a backstage VIP pass.
Oh god, stop! Stop! Oh my god.
To its eyes. Owls have ears, and no, they're not here, but on the sides of its face with feathers covering it like a comb over covering a bald spot. Call it alopecia. I can't tell you how many licks to get to a Tootsie Pop's G-spot, but it takes 2 fingers.
Tootsie Pop's G-spot is insane thing to say.
Call it alopecia. I can't tell you how many licks to get to a Tootsie Pop's G-spot, but it takes 2 fingers to get to a Hippo's control center. And speaking of seeing, that's another thing. Owls don't have eyeballs, more like eye tubes that can't move and are locked in their sockets, which is how a bird already associated with death can be on straight exorcist timing, able to turn their heads 270 degrees without divorcing their skulls the Antoinette way, thanks to special blood vessels in the neck. And the only reason they even have to do all that is because
I did not know that. That's why they be able to turn their head all the way. Their eyes don't move. They just move their head. Holy, that's kind of crazy.
As creatures of the night, they have giant eyes to catch enough light to see. Think of the chronically perked out primate, the tarsier. But owls also have small skulls, so having eyes built like rods is the only way they can fit. Owl eyes are huge. For reference, if human eyes were proportionally the same, we'd be walking around with glimpse globes the size of grapefruits. I really can't stress how much of a cheat code those are. Some, like the Oriental Grey, can see with their eyes closed. Those eyes.
I feel like this is some type of video you dropped near Halloween, gang. This in the middle of between March and April, it's too early. This needs to be one of the spooky joints. This is, I don't like this. This is
might be the biggest self-report that owls aren't from this earth. Quite possibly literally. You can tell a lot about a person from their eyes, and the same goes for owls, but with their color. I did say creature of the night, but not all of them are nocturnal.
Damn!
Owls with yellow eyes are more likely to be diurnal and active. Creature of the night, but not all of them are nocturnal.
Hold on.
Owls.
Girl. I'm sorry, bro, but that shit, I had to do it.
I did say creature of the night,
so
but not
funny.
all of them are nocturnal. Owls with yellow eyes are more likely to be diurnal and active during the day. Orange means they're probably crepuscular, and if eyes are windows to the soul, black eyes tell you no one's been home for a minute. But also that they're nocturnal and darkness really is their domain. But then, you have this.
Where the fuck is that one at? I need to stay far away from that one. All the other ones, they didn't say, where the fuck is that one? Oh no, that's a demon. Bruv, me and you on the same, that's a motherfucking demon. As I was saying it, that shit popped up in the chat. That's a fucking demon. Holy.
Side of the internet, you definitely know about Mothman, a humanoid demon spawn with 2 eyes apparently redder than any red you've ever seen. Well, if you thought I was being cute about the cryptid stuff, this is the Stygian owl of South America, named after the river of Styx.
I think I'm gonna stay in this America. Brazil, Belize, Peru, all that other stuff that's down there, don't need to see me, for sure. Won't go past the Caribbeans. Don't even gotta worry about me. For real. Not my America. Hey, man. Hell no.
Souls of the dead would have to travel to get to the underworld of Hades, according to Greek mythos. Their eyes are naturally yellow, but the special tissue for night vision behind its retina causes it to reflect red under artificial light. And between that and the pseudo horns, you can kind of see how the mix-up might have happened. There's also the infamous Flatwoods monster with free real estate in West Virginia folklore, which might have just been a barn owl from a really unfortunate angle, which is also understandable. But those that know about barn owls, and if you don't, you will in this video, barn owls are a different kind of freaky. But the most
that nigga got that nigga was throwing that shit. Holy, chewing or something.
Owls, and if you don't, you will in this video. Barn owls,
bro. Hand me that owl. Motherfucker got a throat on him. Hello?
Are a different kind of.
Yo, he throwing that bitch back. That owl, a little freak.
Freaky, but the most cursed owl might be the one that's not alive anymore. Ornamentalonyx was a giant ancient Cuban predator of a bird believed to have stood at up to 3 feet.
Kill it with fire. Oh, it's my bad. It's already dead. I would have killed it with fire. Don't even. It would have been instinct because of me. Cause fuck that shit.
7 inches tall. It was such a unit that the first scientists to see its bones thought it was a type of terror bird before it was later classified as an owl. But terror bird doesn't have to be a name to be a lifestyle, because they were believed to be ambush predators that would have airdropped you to the afterlife with bone-crushing talons. It's also believed they would have murked prey as big as modern-day black bears.
Never mind. Couldn't even kill it. I can't take on no fucking bear. You think I'm taking on something that can kill that and fly? Yeah. Can't take you out, taking myself out. Don't even worry about it.
As big as they are, they probably spend most of their time on the ground.
Nigga said Aaron would have been in danger. Oh my god! Oh my oh my god! Leave my mans alone, bruh. He be just trying to live, bro. Holy.
It only took flight when fight was off the table, basically acting like turkeys. Sounds like no big deal until you remember how on-timing turkeys can be. But like Fidel, the op of Cuba has long been past tense, but today, there's over 250 flavors of hoop men populating the earth. Obviously way too many for me to describe them all. So I'm gonna just run through my favorites. This is the largest owl in the world, the Blakiston's fish owl, and they earned the distinction off a mostly pescatarian diet. Clearly cut from the same cloth as his decommissioned Cuban cousin. And then you have the owl just bigger than a Coke can with less gravity than a golf ball, the elf owl. But that doesn't stop this undersized muppet from being a menace of scorpions, among other things. This is a great horned, also called a tiger owl, but not because of their colorway, but because they're like nature said it and gave an apex predator wings. I'm gonna get to them later, but just know, this aggro Tweety is to other owls.
Nah, that nigga look like predator
wings. I'm gonna get to them later, but just know, this aggro
that nigga look like a demon. What's that nigga that do that crash out music? That look like him.
Hot boy ass, bitch, I'm Willa Blake. We're trying to kill a wedding.
That's him, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That's this nigga in bird form, bro. Oh, baby.
Buy your word. This ain't that. RPG can't automatic.
I swear to God. Let's play a little game. Bro.
Tweety is to other owls what orcas are to the cetacean race. There's my personal favorite, the snowy owl, a battle-tested survivalist able to live in one of the most unlivable places on Earth. But they're also proof that white Air Force energy can be just as much of a headache. There's a saw-whet and a spectacled owl, which are cute enough to make me rethink the entire narrative of this video. There's a Eurasian eagle owl, whose run puts that same narrative on life.
That shit is hilarious. I'm sorry, bro. Yo, there's something, chat, is it not hilarious to see a bird that can fly run? There's something about seeing fucking birds run instead of actually use their wings that is so hilarious to me, bro. I remember I watched some birds, like, it looked like they were playing tag. They were running for like 5 minutes in the parking lot after each other. But they could fly, bro. That shit is hilarious to me.
I think the entire narrative of this video, there's a Eurasian eagle owl whose run puts that same narrative on life.
They look like they running without trying to be heard, so they sneaking. Bro, that shit is hilarious. Of this video, there's a Eurasian eagle owl whose run puts that same narrative on life support, and who I'm only thinking of now because of the one named Flacco I saw at the Central Park Zoo before he escaped and became a regular Manhattan resident. That is, until he hit a building and was diagnosed with death. R.I.P. Flacco. And here we have the powerful owl, and yes, that's its honest to Abe name. It's another one with a Jurassic pedicure, which means it can take down some of the biggest prey of any owl. It's an owl that copied a hawk's homework and changed some of the answers, and with a name like that, you can probably guess where it's based. In fact, I don't even think I really need to Australia. With owls seasoning every place on Earth that isn't Antarctica, owls obviously have different looks, but also different sounds. Whoever told you they only hoot lied more than an underage owl. And while hanging with owls is usually a hootenanny, if your neighbors with mated barrel auto couples and
caterwauling barred owls, you'll wake up to the set of Planet of the Apes. They're not all bad. The western screech owl sounds like a fumbled ping pong ball. And you can't tell me the eastern screech doesn't give Kentucky Derby. But you won't find an outburst that's more to blame for mental anguish than the banshee-coated barn owl.
I would think somebody, oh, nah, that's a demon. That's a demon right there. I would think somebody fucking dying.
I keep trying to tell you, there's something about barn owls. Sound might arguably be the most—
Ow! Ow! That's an alien. Kill it. Whatever that was, kill that shit.
I keep trying to tell you, there's something about barn owls. Sound might arguably be the most unsettling thing about them, and I'm not talking about the sound they make. You definitely know that owls have better hearing than a mom after you close the door a decibel above what's acceptable, but you might not know just how far nature went to give them the advantage. Those two ears we talked about aren't symmetrical. The left ear is usually lower than the right, which means an owl on the prowl can pinpoint exactly where a noise came from based on what ear detects it first. If it hits the left first, then the owl can be sure it came from below. Owls also have faces built like satellite dishes, or I guess technically the dishes look like...
Wait. So based off of which ear hears it first, it knows. Oh, bro, that shit got. What's that shit? Bro, that's kind of that's kind of cool. Need that for COD, for real.
Owls, either way, it collects sound and funnels it towards the ears. The wildest variant of this build is the great gray owl that honestly looks like it got its business punched in by nature. They have the biggest facial disc of any owl, meaning you can hide under 2 feet of snow and ice and still get got by a gray. They'll even blindly nosedive into the snow just like the Arctic fox, because same test, same solution. That's convergent evolution. Owls also figured out how to rearrange their feathers to change the shape of their disc, meaning they can basically shapeshift. Depending on the situation, owls can make themselves look bigger when threatened, or the changeling will do the opposite, either for camouflage
Alright, nah, these niggas really might be aliens. They not. Yeah, that's
for the what the f factor. You see what I mean when I say no other animals contributed more to cryptid culture? Imagine being the first person to see this IRL.
Bro! Can we do that, like, as humans, make ourselves look skinnier? Type shit. Like, if I want to be, like, you know, say swole, but, like, if I want to be skinny, that'd be fire. Corsets, okay.
But I'm not done. There's one more supernatural ability owls have that might just be the most OP of all. And it's also because of their feathers. An experiment by BBC Earth took 3 birds and had them fly from one researcher to another with several highly sensitive microphones to pick up even the slightest noise. First was the pigeon. No real surprise to anyone who's lived near them.
Oh, I know this. Yeah, them niggas don't make no fucking sound when they fly. They just like demons.
Next was the fastest bird alive, the peregrine falcon. Again, pretty standard stuff. But then came the barn owl, and this is why I called them hoot ninjas earlier.
Not a sound. Like, if you got, bro, you won't hear these niggas coming. It's just an aerial attack, bro. Like Hiroshima.
Alright, let's talk about it. Pigeons are social birds that also get put in a bucket by multiple birds of prey. So their takeoff sound is like an alarm call to the rest of the flock. So if one pigeon goes, you know the rest will follow. The crested pigeon even evolved their own form of a ringtone. Then there's a pigeon paralysis demon, the falcon. And since they put all their evolution points into speed, they don't have to worry about the sound they make. Just one driving their prey into the next world. Both owls, they have modified flight feathers that makes it a living lethal weapon with a silencer. There is one important catch though. Hush Tweety sold its soul for a built-in muffler, and it cost a waterproof oil coating on their feathers. That's how the steely-eyed gatekeeper of the night turns into an alcoholic mother in water. This might be the most damning evidence for the alien allegation. 70% of the earth is water. If this is what 70% of the world does to you, I have to assume you're not from it. And once owls get too wet, they can't fly. And clearly they didn't read the terms of service, cause they do not look happy about it. I'd say it's a fair trade though, cause a flight-happy dinosaur on silent mode with night vision and god-tier hearing equipped might be one of the most conceptually terrifying things to be hunted by. They say getting gripped by an owl feels a lot like getting caught in the jaws of a German shepherd. Getting disqualified from life by an owl.
Look at them fucking feet, bruh. Look at them grippers. Like, these are the real reasons they get called grippers, cause that shit look like it'll just hold on, bruh. Talons. Bruh, right? If it had no, it needs some type of weakness, bruh.
Now usually.
So if I throw water on it, it won't be able to fly. But when you're not even gonna hear the nigga coming. You're not gonna hear him coming.
Means getting crushed to death. If the prey is too big, they'll just dismember it. Since owls like to eat their prey head first,
that little nigga evil. That little nigga is evil.
Death. If the prey is too big, they'll just dismember it. Since owls like to eat their prey head.
That nigga look like he pissed at something. Holy. Oh my god.
At first, that usually means decapitation. So if you ever see an animal that's physically lost its mind, you can be sure an owl somewhere ate good. Owls will also surplus kill. A picture was taken of a snowy owl pantry with about 70 dead lemmings arranged like a wreath. And there's even a story of scientists finding.
So they'll kill to have some shit for later? They don't even kill when they hungry? It's like they grocery shopping. Hello?
Finding an owl nest.
Nigga said, I need a midnight snack. I need something sweet.
70+ cat collars, although I personally don't believe that.
Holy.
But the avian assassin is for sure one of the most underrated predators in nature.
My God.
Yeah, we're not about to skip past an owl.
That nigga don't even know what happened. He like, huh? What just, yo, your homie got snatched up. Snatched. You don't even know. Right out the nest.
A hawk in its own crib.
He like,
See,
yo.
there's birds of prey and the ones birds prey about, and owls are definitely the latter. Owls will regularly grief other birds of prey, like this beheaded red-tailed hawk or this young Cooper hawk. As you've seen, they'll use the cover of darkness to commit hit and flies on families like this.
Hit and flies is insane.
American falcons, and it's not always about a meal. Sometimes it's about sending a message. Owls don't usually build their own nest, and this homicidal air mime has been seen attacking bald eagles in an attempt to hijack theirs. But owls also don't believe.
So not only is they stealing homes. Nah, they gotta be put on the watch list or something, bro.
And squatters' rights, so God help the kestrel that try to use their own strat against them. Owls are honestly what would happen if you gave honey badgers Red Bull. They're definitely one of those around and find out animals, but there is one bird owls have generational beef with. Owls and crows have one of the most infamous rivalries in nature, and it's because owls will kill without prejudice, and often that includes crows. But crows are also highly intelligent and arguably the smartest birds on Earth, but more importantly, they have the capacity to hold grudges and seek revenge. So crows will mob any owls caught in broad daylight when they have the advantage, harassing the bird of prey using the OP power of friendship. It's how the same predator that can check falcons, hawks, and even eagles can get railroaded by a murder of crows. The beef is so ingrained that crows that have never even seen an owl will instinctively choose violence.
Damn.
Owls will
Who the fuck? Just drop by, hit this nigga just because I don't like your kind, nigga.
is so ingrained that crows that have never even seen an owl will instinctively choose violence.
The fuck?
Owls will take out any single lone crows they can. And I know I've been saying crows, but ravens aren't exactly fans either. Especially when an owl can change its Facebook status to nevermore. There's another bird of prey this flying deratio has major problems with. Each other. Owls regularly hunt and kill other owls, and the two main suspects, the great horned owl from before and the barred owl. Barred owls are pretty competent predators on their own, and often they get victimized by the flying tiger. It's technically not cannibalism the same way a leopard eating a cheetah or a red fox flatlining its arctic cousin isn't. It still feels wrong as hell. The barred owl can be a different kind of problem, which is why the US government has been trying to pass a bill to murk 400,000 of them. And if that sounds OD, it's because the flying invasive garbage disposal eats literally everything, to the point where they've been outcompeting the native spotted owl into near oblivion. The crazy thing is, life retiring 400,000.
Wait, what did it say you had to do? Fish and wildlife process killing over 400 in the Pacific Northwest. God damn. Niggas gotta get nerfed.
Of them. And if that sounds OD, it's because the flying invasive garbage disposal eats literally everything, to the point where they've been outcompeting the native spotted owl into near oblivion. The crazy thing is, life retiring 400,000 would barely put a dent in their population. Owls will also run fades with deer, and they're not afraid to
Why are you picking this fight?
Put a dent in their population. Owls will also run.
How you can't even eat that?
Fades with deer, and they're not afraid to press other land predators in their territory like coyotes. Snowy owls are a special kind of trigger happy since they have to compensate for having their nests on the ground. The result is the biggest crash out of the owls choosing fight and flight with a whole wolf. There have even been reports of them dive bombing polar bears that wandered too close. But for all their talents, there aren't really any documented cases of an owl putting a person in a coffin. That is, unless you believe the staircase owl theory. In 2003, Michael Peterson was convicted of murdering his wife Kathleen in their home in North Carolina, and according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. But there's been legitimate theories that it was actually a barred owl that attacked her and caused her to fall down the stairs. The theory gained more traction when it was revealed that feathers were later found in her hair, and that the lacerations on her head were pretty consistent with getting mauled by an owl. Now, full disclosure, I'm not really that informed on the case, but even I thought that was a stretch. But crazier things have happened. Let me remind you that the entire world thought Lindy Chamberlain was guilty. Whole time a dingo really did eat her baby. We might never know for sure. But there's a reality where a man served hard time for a crime an owl committed. Now you might come away from this video thinking I feel some type of negative about owls. Quite the opposite. I gained a whole new respect for these birds. For one, they're free pest control. Just one barn owl family can eat 1,000 rodents in a season. Speaking of the barn owl, they're monogamous, and not only will they often mate for life, they'll often return to the same nest year after year. You can't have that kind of longevity.
Nigga, am I watching birds make out right now? Excuse me? Since birds get the kissing? I thought they were murder demons. It's Bird Hub. Only birds? Oh shit, oh that's funny.
Reinforcing your bond, and the owl equivalent of a vow renewal is what you're seeing right here, called billing. That and a good intimate preening session. And while they're still wild animals that really aren't meant to be pets, the ones rescued by humans can often end up imprinting on them. The result makes depression here boss music. And even though they're often associated with dark and death, in Japan they're often seen as a sign of good fortune. Moral of the story, owls aren't harbingers of doom. They're not the feathery antichrist. Nah, owls are just the cats of birds. And I honestly love that for them. But that's gonna do it for this video.
What the fuck is happening?
I'm not kidding when I say I hyperfixated on owls for a couple of weeks, so much that I'm actually planning a trip to a raptor trust near me. If this video gets 130,000 likes, I'll share some pictures and videos with y'all. And don't worry, I didn't forget about the promise I made here because y'all really demolished last video's like goal. Like for real, I did not think y'all would do it that fast. And because I'm a man of my word, I will be visiting an elephant sanctuary sometime this summer and recording it for y'all. I do want to make sure I'm supporting a legitimate place, so if anyone has any experience with them and can recommend any ethical ones, feel free to comment down below. We'll get to that bridge, but until we do, make sure you drink water. If you have a spouse, go tell them you love them right now. If owls can do it, so can you. Support your local sky cats, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Not you having a little bird bath. Oh, excuse me. Hey, gotta make sure them feathers nice and wet. That sounds crazy. Sorry. I don't know why I just said that. Like, it sounded like, I don't know. I don't know what, it sounded crazy. Like, I didn't mean, okay. W video. Bro, I know how it sounded, and like, I apologize. Yeah, you're canceled on Twitter. Hey. Fuck it. Fuck it. Type shit. Alright, W video though. Type shit. Alright, man, look. We got us another Casual Geographic video. I know y'all love Casual Geographic with the boys.
Casually geographical.
Casual Geographical. Y'all remember when you call yourself Hood Nature?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something about Casual Geographic, alright?
Uh-huh.
Casually, right? The Grand Canyon, to tell you its casual location, it's on Earth. Did you know that lions are most populated in America?
In Texas.
Populated?
No, it's tigers.
I mean,
it's tigers. Yeah,
it's Hood Nature. Tigers.
Yeah. Texas has the highest population of tigers than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah. That's why they Baytown, they caught one in the neighborhood.
Crazy.
I'll open these, by the way.
Go ahead. I can't really have too much sour stuff anyway. Heartburn. Alright, anyway. The most generational crash outs in the animal kingdom. Alright, let's get it.
It's a tiger. It's a tiger. I seen this video.
Oh my god.
A goose, yep.
Okay, valid.
I hate gooses.
Oh, they do be.
Crash out. Here's the definition, and here's the definition, but in picture. And if it's not clear now, it will be by the end of this video. Crash outs exist in all walks of life. You know what they say?
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way. For a Chris to get rocked by a Fresh Prince flick of the wrist. But today, we're gonna talk about the biggest crash outs in nature. And there's a lot to choose from, so some had to get
Damn!
I won't be talking about hippos, honey badgers, or Cape buffalo. I've said my piece on this roid-raging homicidal hydro horse on steroids.
Hey, listen, listen, to this day, I know not to play with nobody hippo, bruh. I don't give a fuck about none of
Africa's
that.
black death is a hunter's nightmare for humans.
You know, one that was funny? You saw that gorilla earlier? I was gonna make a mic joke. I left it alone. I actively chose to leave it alone. You see how much of a better friend I am?
Next time, don't leave it alone, man.
I got a deal for you. There's the sour salt left at the bottom of this. You take this. I can't roast you for the rest of the day, or I owe you whatever you want.
Whatever. So you gotta
determine what that is right now.
What I want? $1,000.
Open up.
Oh my god.
Straight face it. Straight face it.
Just take it, bro.
Refreshing.
Huh?
Refreshing.
Refreshing? It's good, huh?
You got a little bit.
You got a lot of it, actually. You might as well just hit yourself right there. Yeah.
Does that count as taking?
Yeah, you took it. You know what I'm saying?
Take that.
Take that.
I know that nigga tongue tingling.
Humans and lion horse on steroids.
the
You
hell
already
is
know
that?
Africa's Black Death is a hunter's nightmare for humans and lions alike.
Oh
Not
yeah,
even tell
it
us
was a
baby lion.
Yeah, they was slaughtering
here
that
on this
motherfucker.
biracial Black Air Force hate-mongering Hufflepuff.
Oh.
But what I will talk about are rhinos. As I've said that rhinos are legally blind
Yeah,
to
they
any
unprovoked.
They blind.
tanks that'll buck up to anything
He's
from a
bigger than the
butterfly
car.
to a buffalo. Except
He's
I was
bigger than the car.
wrong. Recent studies show that the eyesight of rhinos might not even be that bad. It's
What?
just their attitude, which means that rhino fully punted a warthog purposely and unprovoked, while this one received an assault on 8 wheels and still went for a literal headshot. There's a reason why a group of rhinos is an honest-to-God crash, but they're not even the biggest crash outs in Africa. That would be elephants.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
literally, they're the biggest. Whoever
Yeah.
made this up actively helped escort
You don't remember that elephant that tracked that lady down?
I thought that was just revenge. I didn't know it was a crash out moment.
Yeah.
Crash out.
Bro, he killed her. Came back weeks later, found
At her
her
funeral and got her again.
out the casket.
That's crazy. What does
People
she
off
do?
the
Wait, hold
sense.
on. What does it say though? Elephant brain reacts to humans the same way that human
Human
brains
brains
react
react
to
to
they think we're
Oh!
cute.
Yeah.
So for that elephant to do that to that,
That elephant really hated that lady, bro.
Yeah, that was revenge.
All I'm saying though is we going to Thailand and we going to elephant sanctuary.
I'm not going.
wait, when the hell? Who said that?
Why not?
Who said?
Y'all want to go see?
I mean,
that?
I go, but I'm still. When the hell do we make this decision?
I'm terrified of elephants.
Really?
I'm afraid of anything that can kill me. Anything that could crash out, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I won't go to the open zoos.
Really?
The ones where you drive
Drive
through.
the car, yeah, and feed them. Oh, you pussy.
Oh.
We going to the elephants.
Yeah. We going to see elephants. That's all it took, chat. A little bit of gaslight.
which they don't need help doing since elephants flatlined over 600 people last year.
Damn!
It isn't until elephants hit
Why you do it like that?
Cut that.
Or at least blur it.
Oh God! Well, never mind.
must is when a sudden burst of hormones turns elephants into 12,000-pound drunk lusting frat boys.
Yep.
The word must even comes from the word intoxicated, and a down bad bull's testosterone levels can spike
'cause they be
60
horny.
times higher than normal. And that's where the crash out comes in. No animal is safe from an
Have you ever
entitled
seen that video where the elephant walked past and then shit just... Yeah.
Oh, it was slanging and banging.
Man.
Oh yeah, I had it a mean.
Them mothers got weapons of mass destruction on them, bro. I
elephant
ain't
that
gonna
can't
lie.
handle
I hate to bring it there, bro. If they swinging like that, boy, a whale gotta be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. A whale gotta be insane.
Absolute, man. Shit,
rejection.
man.
Not even baby elephants. Eating a
Oh
toddler
my
because his mom won't
God.
relieve you? Crash out. But the real degeneracy didn't show itself until humans got involved. Yeah, it's that kind of story. Poaching is evil, we all know it, and it's often the older, more mature bulls
That's
that get hit
crazy.
the hardest
That's a
for
lot of-
obvious reasons. What wasn't expected was removing elephant OGs from the population meant that the younger, immature teenage bulls and must got even more out of pocket. And what do you get when you have unruly 6-ton
them
pests with no
eyes.
father figure to keep them in line? Hell if I know. There was a period in the
Is that a rhino?
They was trying to fuck a rhino?
It wasn't trying.
It was.
pests with no father figure to keep them in line? Hell if I know. There was a period in the 90s where 3 young bulls that got rejected by their own kind, resorting to violating and killing not 1, not 2, not 10, but 63 rhinos. Fatherless behavior for an elephant
God.
apparently means turning a rhino from a tight end to a whiteout, and it wasn't until the season more mature bulls were brought back in that the rhino ravaging eventually stopped. And it's not just
my
males that
God.
can choose violence. We can't forget that time an elephant traveled across India just to life deprive a 70-year-old senior citizen while she was getting water. For context, that elephant escaped from the Dalma Palma Wildlife Sanctuary and
that's
traveled
the
over
video.
100 miles to the Rape village in Odisha. Being homicidal for over 100 miles straight is already menace
That is
behavior.
insane.
What solidified it was that same herd pulling up to that woman's funeral later that day and paying everything but respects. And that same elephant grabbed her soul evacuated 0 HP body and proceeded to put her in the negatives. Basically,
Oh
she
my
got put on the shirt
God.
except the shirt was reversible. And after desecrating her corpse, dessert was destroying the woman's house along with several others.
Oh my
Many have said
God.
the woman Maya Murmu had it coming and was involved in poaching, and this was a case of an elephant not forgetting or forgiving. It also could have been someone's grandmother getting murked twice and memed on Twitter all because of RNG. We'll never know the why, but what we do know is my favorite animal.
I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it.
Oprah.
Now, why did you go back to that woman's funeral? Well, Oprah, that bitch really had it coming.
I don't think one was good enough.
I had to slide for my cousin.
You ever heard the saying, you know I got to double it? I had to double it.
I didn't know he destroyed a house too.
Yeah.
That is
Crazy.
crazy.
That's insane.
Animal is capable of crash outs of catastrophic proportions. And now we got the smallest crash out in the world. When a colony of Calabopsis saundersea ants gets attacked, some of the soldiers will rupture 2 huge poison-filled glands and literally blow themselves up. They don't just
Whoa.
equip themselves, they also rain a toxic corrosive glue that either traps the op ants in place or just burns them alive. It's
Oh my
self-sacrificing
God.
altruistic behavior meant to defend the colony, but that is one hell of an escalation.
That
One
is.
species of termite also has a concept of kamikaze themselves, and they have toxic glands that actually grow as they get older. That means the same old worker termites with dull mandibles that can't fight or forage as well as their juniors also carry the most potent explosive backpacks in the colony. So their last act of service involves eviscerating themselves in a rain of internal organs, intestines,
outta
and
here.
toxins, which proves that the most dangerous crash out is
Oh,
the one
he
with
did it.
nothing left to lose.
He
For
held
reference,
on.
that's like breaking into a house and the last thing you see is a senile 90-year-old rushing you with a bomb strapped to their chest. But the wildest crash out might be
Oh my
what pea
God.
aphids do once a
That
predator
had to be
breaks into
terrifying.
their home.
Oh God,
Because
that nigga walked right past you. You
had
can't
to
even
be.
just. You had to be quiet.
Realistically, he knew you was there. That's the crazy part. Realistically, a nigga with senses that he knew you was there. He just let you make it.
Oh
Until
God.
yeah.
Not only will soldiers come together and turn themselves into fleshy fireworks, they'll use their own bodily fluids to plug up the opening. Even if it means they get left outside in past tense, even if it means they suffocate on their own insides, and even if the process senses subtracts them instantly. It's one thing
Wow.
to self-destruct to backpedal a predator, or even after already being eaten, which aphids actually do. Using Flex Seal made out of your own guts for home repairs is exactly the type of behavior this video is about. But if elephants violating the natural order didn't already tell you, the worst crash outs are the ones humans created. And this black Air Force B is the result of one of the biggest oopsies in
That's
human
a
history.
fucking bee.
Bro, that look like a wasp.
That man, that looked like a demon.
That look like muscles.
Bro, I'll never forget.
That looked like fucking quads on that bitch.
Bro, that boy that never missed leg day.
Oh God.
African bees were brought to Brazil and crossbred with their more domesticated European cousins. The idea was, if they could combine the two, they could create a bee that was more efficient than the Europeans in tropical climates, while also being less defensive than the African counterparts. But in one of the most consequential f***ups possible,
Oh my
a local beekeeper accidentally released 26 swarms of Africanized bees, including queens. But experts said not to worry, that the bees would either die out in the foreign climate or get bred out of existence by the already present European bees.
Yes, but actually no.
By the 60s, they made it across the country. By the 80s, they hit Mexico. By the 90s, they were popping up in the US. And today, the Africanized assault has spread throughout America like a rageaholic rash.
Oh
And here's the
my
thing with playing
God.
God with bees. You better be prepared for hell. These Africanized bees were way meaner than anything this side of the Atlantic had
that's
ever
what I
seen.
would attack.
They were way more
question
aggressive,
is, how
much
did they
less forgiving,
spread?
and the same
I'm
honey
interested
merchants
to
that were
know.
enough to legitimately punk elephants. That's not a joke, by the way. We're doing numbers on
Elephants are so afraid
unsuspecting
of
people.
bees, they
You
have
see,
a specific call to warn the herd of their presence. Absolutely not. Farmers have also used the sound of bees to keep elephants away from their fields.
I'm good.
Yeah, oh God, hey, if an elephant afraid, you can't tell me nothing.
I'm
Hey, don't
down.
be afraid of no bee. Fuck you.
I'm gonna download bee sounds when we go to the fucking Thailand elephant shit. Back up!
Now,
Oh
now if
shit,
they
he
come,
got that too.
Bro, it's
now
a
if they come
sanctuary,
beat your
bro.
ass,
Yeah.
if they come beat your
Oh,
fucking ass,
I'm gonna be holding arm in arm with y'all. They ain't playing.
absolutely not.
They gonna jump all of us.
Hell
When
no.
European bees might send 10 to 20 guard bees after you, The Africanized flying mob will pull up in the hundreds. And where European bees might chase you for a couple feet, the African variety will chase trespassers for a quarter of a mile. The irony is, African bees have smaller hives. That means these gangflies weaponize a higher percentage of their hive just to go after you. Add the fact that the very smell of bee venom is like a Batman signal to the rest of the hive, and you realize just how badly that one beekeeper screwed us over. Speaking of venom, you probably know that honeybees die after stinging, since the stingers are barbed and attached to their abdomen, causing attacking bees to literally disembowel themselves. What you might not know is that stinger will continue pumping venom into you long after the bee has become a was. Now that's just doing the most. That's how you get stories of people being chased by vindictive swarms. Oh, and by the way, it's proven if you try to duck the fate by jumping in the water, they will wait, sometimes with fatal consequences. In 2013, a Texas man died after being stung over 1,000 times, and the bees still had enough malice left over to leave his wife and daughter with 100 apiece. It says a lot that
bro, fuck bees, bro.
Yo!
Fuck bees, bro. Pollinators, whatever, nigga. Fuck them niggas.
1,000?
Yo!
And then 100 for the kid and the mama? The whole family getting spun on. What do we...
Welcome to the hood.
The dietary habits of the CRASHOUT mascot might have helped create one of the most infamous crash crowds in the air. But not all CRASHOUTs are fueled by hate. Some are powered by love. Courting bald eagles will interlock talons and plummet down towards the earth, only to separate at the last possible second. Because apparently feathery foreplay means death spiraling in a questionable game of chicken. Apparently, it's to test each other's fitness as a possible partner. You know, separate the strong from the strongest. Except it does the opposite when the entangled avians crash land into trees, water, or sometimes straight pavement and take each other out the dating pool. And bald eagles mate for life, so where do you even go after your vow renewal turns into a wake that only one of you is conscious for? A study showed that eagles will also death spiral with rivals, so it's really a case of either f me or fight me or just don't waste my time. But that makes even less sense, because at least with a mate, the logic is you're trying to find the strongest, most eligible single to spend the rest of your life with. Handing death a 2-for-1 BOGO deal because you had beef and literally couldn't let it go is the definition of crashing out. At least when it happens with deer like moose, you know it's really bad luck.
Voluntarily wait a minute.
Crashing out. At least when it happens.
These niggas was dead ass tussling and froze underwater.
Yep.
Oh my god.
What you think that meat taste like?
Moose meat?
Yeah, I was thinking because you know
people eat moose.
They eat deer.
But do they eat moose? Is it enough moose? Because deer are like a nuisance damn near.
You think so?
Yeah, that's why we can hunt. There's a hunting season for them. There's enough of them to be hunted.
Can you hunt
legally?
Can you legally hunt moose?
That's what I'm asking.
I think so, but it's like a lot less. You can shoot like a lot less moose than a deer.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gonna need like a rocket launcher.
Them motherfuckers is big, bro.
Whatever you shoot them niggas with, you gotta put them down.
Oh god, cause you shoot that motherfucker and miss or don't
or it don't kill him.
The crazy part is, it say once it see you, what's it?
You're
it's
done.
over for you.
You're done. Cause don't they run like 67 miles an hour?
Run.
Bro,
run
on top of water. Did you see that one running on top of water?
They run, boy.
Shit.
Legs longer than ours, run faster than us.
And just huge.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Like huge. Big as fuck.
Bro.
Oh my god.
But voluntarily interlocking toes just to die with someone you claim to hate, like what's really going on here? But that relationship's nowhere near as toxic as the house sparrows. It's like Tweety listening to NBA Youngboy. It's a honey badger with wants and an op to every other bird, but especially their own kind. Okay, so the crashing out is caused by the fact that house sparrows are monogamous and mate for life. They're also serial cheating air strumpets, and 15% of sparrow children.
How you monogamous but cheaters? Oh hell.
Humans.
Yeah.
Humans.
Yeah.
Are monogamous and mate for life. They're also serial cheating air strumpets, and 15% of sparrow children born aren't even related to the male raising them. Cheating isn't a foreign concept to birds. Thoughts and prayers out to the penguin that got dogged out, got his cloaca kicked by his wife's boyfriend, begged for her back, got beat again, only to get rejected and bust his a third time. Yeah, no way he goes out that sad. Male sparrows that suspect their partner of cheating get their revenge by purposely feeding their children less, bordering on starvation. The thing is, he has no way of knowing which chick's actually his. He only goes by how much time the mother spends away from the nest. Basically, imagine your dad starves you within an inch of your life, all because your mom spent the equivalent of 10 extra minutes at the grocery store. Female sparrows ain't sweet either. The difference is she cheats with better genetic quality, or you could say high-value males, while the male cheats to spread his seed as far as physically possible. Except that the female catches on to the cheating, she responds by slaughtering his entire family, children and all. And it's
oh my god!
Wow. Sounds about right in real life.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I mean, shit.
Sounds about
man.
right.
Shit.
Because, yeah, sounds about right. I can see a dude catching somebody cheating. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just step away. I'm gonna not take care of them. I can see. No, I'm just saying I can see. I'm not saying that's what happens. I'm saying I can see it, and then I see the woman. Oh, I'm gonna slash her tires. I'm gonna kill the bitch. I can see the.
But the kids too, though.
That's what I'm saying. I can see the correlation in anger levels.
I can.
But
Cause that's happened.
yeah.
She went to prison.
No, she herself.
Scientifically proven that butchering the babies offers
Wait, butcher the babies? Yeah.
no advantage to the offending female. It's just pure love of the game. Cheating's never right, but when your get back gets children buried, you have lost the plot.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially since the females most likely to commit baby cancellation are second wives. As in, they got with a cheater, got with him due to cheating, only to wipe out the entire first family. Also, I just thought about it. She also has no way of knowing which chicks are his. That means she really just life retires any baby sparrows she comes across. Yeah, that's a crash out of the highest order. And right up there with them has to be this frog. It's a culinary crash dummy off the fact that an Argentine horned frog would rather choke to death trying to swallow something physically bigger than they are than just give it up. Scientists have found expired frogs with their stomachs torn open out of pure stubbornness. It's a gluttonous breathing pot of greed card come to life. Not only that, they're terrible swimmers, embarrassingly bad jumpers, and yo, they don't even ribbit.
What kind of fucking frog is you?
That's what I'm saying.
Can't swim, can't jump, can't ribbit. You just
told. It's a told.
just existed. What the?
Fool done sold every aspect of being a frog just to moonlight as Jabba the Gut. They can even develop amphibian corneal lipidosis, where they hold on to so much fat, they literally accumulate fat deposits on their eyes that blind them. To be fair, it's usually from overfeeding in captivity, but my brother in Christ, even Nakado Avocado put the fork down at some point. Especially since frogs can't vomit, the best this kitchen crash out can do is fully eject their stomachs. But luckily, they're not a threat to you. Next is a crash out that the majority of the American audience has to sidestep on a daily basis.
That's his stomach? He fully ejected his stomach and is actively cleaning that bitch off. Oh my God.
Can we get it off screen?
I'm sorry.
Which is funny because the Canada goose nearly got caught in an eternal milk carton.
You good?
This is sour candy.
That bro, this nigga might.
Damn!
Go ahead.
Yeah, give me this one too. Jesus. I ain't even taste this one.
That nigga been punished in the guns. That nigga been punished. Bro, I keep seeing his ass.
Aaron opened this at the beginning of the video.
Bro, I kept seeing his ass. I'm like, yeah, alright. Yeah, alright. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, bro.
Damn.
Carton due to overhunting and habitat loss.
Oh, he drowned it.
Wait, what?
The goose nearly got caught in an eternal milk carton due to overhunting and habitat loss. In fact, we fully thought they were out of stock in the 50s, until a small flock was found in Rochester, Minnesota. And with the help of the Migratory Bird Treaty Act in the US and the Migratory Birds Convention Act in Canada, along with conservation efforts, the Canada goose was able to make a comeback. And humanity and geese lived happily ever. Absolutely not.
No.
Yet a cobra
no,
chicken
no.
came back with a vengeance. I called the sparrow an airborne honey badger. Nah. It's just barcoded assault with wings. Easily the most undeserved arrogance I've ever seen on an animal.
Yo!
That's really what it is. This damn velociraptor has some wildly irrational confidence. They're like family guys.
You saw the gorilla like,
trying to get into?
Hey, nigga, back up. You don't see me?
That's really what it is. This damn velociraptor has some wildly irrational confidence.
Back
They're
up,
like
bitch.
Family Guy. They nearly got canceled, came back, and by God do they not miss a chance to punish us for it. Even Sully's heroic landing in the Hudson wouldn't have even been needed if a goose didn't try to run a fade with a plane. Just proof that you can get a lot of...
Yeah. The geese went in the jet. Yeah. And that's how that plane crashed. Yeah. Crazy, right?
mileage at a false unearned valor. Because it's a bluff. Geese nest on the ground, so they only really can respond to a threat to minor safety by implementing the honey badger method, by raising hell until you meet someone that takes you there. Add the fact that they've managed to lose their fear of humans, and you have a honk-happy threat to national security. I've even read reports of them apparently luring chasing dogs into deep water just to attack and harass them until they eventually drown in exhaustion. To be fair, you could just leash your dog. Oh, also, goose tongue. But yeah, that attitude's a bluff, and they read body language, so act like you've been around a goose before and you'll probably be fine. So why are geese so mean? They'd probably be dead
my
if they
God!
weren't. But at least
Oh
they're
my
not capable
God!
of really damaging anything but your pride. Complete opposite of chimpanzees, my word.
That nigga's not not using no wings, just straight run up.
Capable of really damaging anything but your pride. Complete opposite of
You thought I was
chimpanzees.
finished, nigga? Clear.
Probably a top 3 crash out in nature, cause you really never know what could set this chainsaw with thumbs off. Change your hairstyle for the first time in 10 years? Yeah, you just lost your face privileges. Push one of your troopmates a little too far? Call it Kaizen the way you about to get jujutsu jumped. Duo can barrel roll? Absolutely not. Not in these parts. Chimps and really primates in general have a sense of fairness. Do something they view as unfair? Oh, buddy. You finna find out why they're the prime ministers of unproportional reactions. This man decided to surprise his former pet chimp with a chocolate cake for his birthday. The real surprise was 2 male chimps getting out and mutilating the man for not serving them a slice first. I'm not gonna list the full extent of his injuries. I have a full video doing that. Just know the first 2 hospitals denied him entry because they literally thought he was a lost cause. Monkeys in captivity have also been known to mob a member of their own for receiving more food than the others. And when I was 8, a chimp temper tantrum nearly had me halfway to Helen Keller. Almost had me rocking a Nick Fury fit. And we cannot forget that time. Monkeys in India went on a campaign of dropping dogs from roofs after one of
like that shit happened earlier this year, right? When they or last year when they was kept fucking terrorizing town.
What he was flinging was another monkey.
Swear.
Yeah. That's a whole nother monkey.
The chimp temper tantrum nearly had me halfway to Helen Keller. Almost had me rocking the Nick Fury fit. We cannot forget that time. Monkeys in India went on a campaign of dropping dogs from roofs after one allegedly attacked a baby of their own. Yeah, primates are some Hall of Fame crash outs. Question is, what could possibly be more destructive? Well, tigers are easily one of the most.
That jump up is
crazy with no warning. Just spring.
Oh my.
Look at them.
Oh my god.
That's prime Derrick Rose.
He was coming for it too, bro. Yeah, he was
coming. Lung.
That nigga was coming for everything.
Tigers are easily one of the most vengeful creatures alive, and the moment this striped population control wants you dead, you might as well lease a casket. There's plenty of stories of tigers going from 0 to 1,000. In 2007, 3 teenagers that may or may not have been under the influence taunted 243-pound Tatiana the tiger, reportedly even pelting her with pine cones from a slingshot. Tati cleared a 12-foot mow, severely mauled 2 of the teens, and killed the 3rd. In 2016, a tiger ripped apart an infamous poacher named Baby only 4 days after his group reportedly shot his mate. In 97, a hunter named Vladimir Markov not only shot a tiger, but had the audacity to steal his kill. As a result, the Whisker John Wick stalked his cabin, tore anything that smelled like him to shreds, including his mattress and bedding, and apparently even demolished an outhouse Markov had used. As you can guess, the story ended around the same time Vladdy did, once the Siberian assassin was there to greet him at his house. And then there's this. The backstory is that a mother tiger and her cubs had ventured beyond the boundaries of a park and had injured cattle in the process, so rangers went out to capture and relocate the trio. They successfully tranked and removed the cubs, but the mother was nowhere to be found. That was until about right here. The enraged mother cleared a full-grown elephant and managed to
oh my god, bruh.
Jesus.
I'd shit.
Yeah.
Bro, whole dookie inside 10 pants.
mutilate them.
God damn.
Writing it.
Oh my.
Wait, does he make content?
Taking
Yes, he said it got him.
the enraged mother cleared a full-grown elephant and managed to mutilate the mahout riding it, taking several fingers with her and a fury on 4
Oh, that was his hands. You gotta blur that. You gotta blur that. You have to blur that. Ooh. That was his hands on the screen. That was his hand. That was.
legs, but the most infamous big cat crash out came in the early 1900s, when a tiger dubbed the man-eater Chumpawat killed 436 people, giving her the highest human body count of any single animal. And it was discovered that the cause was a cripplingly debilitating tooth injury that forced her to go after easier prey. And that's the thing I do want to mention. I know I had fun with the crash out concept, but really all the tiger was ever guilty of doing was what came naturally. And that really goes for every animal on this list. Tatiana wouldn't have had to die and take someone's son with her if they hadn't gone and tested her killer. Travis was an overweight, socially stunted, Xanax-consuming time bomb that some woman decided to keep inside as a pet. Even the whole Elefino mess started with poachers destroying and fragmenting their families and probably giving the pachyderms PTSD. Like, I'll joke around and stuff for comedic effect, but I'm not actually out here judging animals by human standards. Cause he said something real before he got Chris rocked and left with Fresh Prince.
Talk about the tiger with Chris.
Fresh Prince.
Fingerprints.
Because he said something real before he got Chris rocked and left with Fresh Prince.
Talk about the tiger went crazy. That tiger ain't go crazy. That tiger went tiger.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video.
Nah,
Make sure you
facts.
drink water, hug your mother. There's no church in the wild and no judge in the jungle, so don't expect animals to follow either. And I'ma see y'all
Damn.
in the next one.
W video, man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to... Wait, hold on. What?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So he was protected. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Casual Geographic for sure. You know what I'm saying? W video. You know what I'm saying? Internet City Boys. You know who they is.
Simba the God. You know who she is.
You know.
Mikey the Candy Crusher. Did you stop asking for more? Did you just ask for more?
No, I was tickling.
Bro, that nigga punish
There's
your
like
shit.
2.
He punished your shit.
This is how full the pack
Bro,
starts.
I can tell you how many I ate.
This is how.
I ate about 6 to 8
Now
of them.
mind you,
Don't forget the other pack.
he already crushed.
He did!
He crushed this.
Bro,
I
this
think
is why
maybe
you
2
got
people
cavities, bro.
Yeah, cavity.
This is why you got cavities, bro.
Who told you that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who told you that, bro?
Man, me and your dentist be talking, bro. He be like,
got
talk.
one.
I know. He like, man, send Mike in before he loses his back teeth.
Alright, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll check out the next one.
Look how ashy I am, y'all.
Okay. Alright, man. Last of an era. These are final reactions in this crib. This is Casual Geographic's the most murderous animal on earth. Might surprise you. And I know you might be wondering, chat don't even know what I'm about to say, but I'm about to preach it to Maja too. I know you about to be like, yo, Simba, where'd the intro go? The intro's gone, man. It is. Gotta get that watch time up. Once the intro get going, y'all click off. So sorry. End of an era. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 100K, 200K. No more intro. Look, chat don't even know we doing no intro. Oh, it hurt, don't it? Oh, it hurt, don't it? Oh. We gonna let them talk about that while we get into the video, though, for sure.
So in 2016, the University of Granada published a study that tried to answer the question of what mammal out of the thousands on Earth is the most homicidal. And the results, well, if it wasn't on paper, you wouldn't believe it. Researchers created a list of over 1,000 candidates, and by painstakingly studying over 4 million animal deaths total and recording how many of those life retirements were caused by the same species, they were able to mathematically determine what mammals are the most likely to murder their own kind. And nobody could have predicted some of the answers. The Dama gazelle placed 16th on the homicide scale with an 11.85% chance of getting past tense by another Dama. Slightly above them.
Wait. Damn, I look bright as fuck, chat. My bad. Hold on, let me turn these lights down. Alright, so a gazelle getting murked by a gazelle is crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're Blasian. Nigga, I'm not. Okay.
At 14th were chinchillas, with a probability of getting put down by a fellow chilla at a solid 12%. Brown bears just barely made the top 30 at less than 10%. But the bears of the sea, specifically the New Zealand sea lion, lapped them with an execution rate above 15. Now, you're probably wondering where humans ranked on this list. We gotta be up there. I mean, there's just no way. No. Humans didn't even crack the top 40, with less than 2% of human soul evictions caused by another human. In fact, according to the numbers, lemurs have far more bloodlust than humans and chimpanzees. But the most horny for homicide mammal in this study, the most murderous creature on Earth, was the meerkat. No, not a meerkat. The meerkat, with about 20% of those in God's recently deleted having been airdropped by another meerkat. But like with any true psychopath, to see where these tendencies come from, we gotta look at their family. Meerkats are a type of mongoose, an animal that essentially married crackhead determination with gang mentality. We're gonna get back to them in a second, but just know, running a fade with mongoose is like getting attacked by a team of temperamental...
Plural of mongooses, I just like, plural is mongooses. I just like, mongoose sound better, you know what I'm saying? So chat, is it fish or fishes? Or is it like mongoose? It's a bunch of mongoose. Can mongoose be like plural as well?
with teeth. But if you take a wider look, meerkats belong to a superfamily that I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. I just know that they share it with feuds, which I talked about last video, and hyenas. Yeah, the hyenas' closest relatives are mongooses like the meerkat, and that made no sense to me until I heard what meerkats sound like.
Oh, makes sense. They sound like fucking laughing hyenas.
The mongoose is probably most famous for their...
Yo, chat, you know what I've been seeing on TikTok? I don't know where the fuck these people are, but the town has an elk, right? They have an elk, and the fucking elk has been getting angry and just running through the town screaming, and everybody has to go inside. Because it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, have y'all been seeing that TikTok? I've seen like 2 or 3 TikToks from that same sound, bro. I mean, from that same town. And it's just like a mad ass elk, bro.
Eternal beef with snakes. Except the word beef is doing a lot of heavy lifting, since snake versus mongoose is more lopsided than an edge up from Stevie Wonder. A common misconception is that they're immune to snake venom. They're resistant, but there's a point where enough venom will murk even a mongoose. The mongoose has a mutation in their nicotinic acetylcholine receptor that makes it harder for neurotoxic snake venom to bind to it. That's how the same cobra that can flatline a person in 15 minutes can fully get put on a t-shirt by a warpath weasel. And meerkats will run fades with highly venomous snakes and turn them into a belt if they need to. These sand assault squirrels will even weaponize the power of friendship to flex on enemies like snakes through a process called mob.
By the way, that is a puffer adder, aka one of the most venomous snakes in Africa. Wow.
Speaking of which, don't worry, I didn't forget about this. But to explain why meerkats have such a high KD ratio against their own kind, you gotta understand how functionally dysfunctional their families are. The meerkat empire is built on a foundation of violence, extortion, spawn killing, cannibalism, but most importantly, a power-hungry mother, and it goes like this. Meerkats live in groups called mobs, and each mob is a
well, of course. They live in groups called mobs. They gangster, alright? They different, they built different. You would not call a group of people a mob unless they really be mobbing. These niggas really be mobbing. The blinker that went off, chat.
Conglomerate of several family units merged together as one, and sitting at the throne of each mob are the dominant couple, the alpha male, but more importantly, the alpha female. Because like with their bigger hyena cousins,
nigga, is that a whole meerkat pussy? Is that his coochie? Is that meerkuss? Okay, it's meerkussy.
Biggest, meanest mama meerkat that calls the shots. Everyone has a job in meerkat society.
Yo, and he has like a... Bro, nigga had like a full 30-second segment of meerkussy, bro. Bro, it was just in the script. Am I tripping? Oh my God, bro. Don't be Shane Dawson and smack that. Oh God.
Alpha female is responsible for birthing new members to the mob, which is why she eats by far more than anyone else, so that she can make enough milk to feed her pups. The top male is primarily in charge of guarding his defenseless kids, and when he's not doing that, he's usually out hunting or spreading his scent to reinforce his territory. Then you have the scout.
Okay, and then there's balls. Okay. So I just seen meerkussy, and then I seen malls. Mere-alls. Yeah, bro. I don't need mirror balls. I don't need to see that. Imagine, I'm sorry, bro. This is the longest hour of your life, gang. I promise you that.
Scout team, the meerkats whose jobs are to forage for food wherever they can find it. And watching their backs are the sentinels, the security guards of the clan who keep an eye.
That nigga really keeping watch. Look, look at him. He like, yeah, y'all good on this side, gang. Hey, back up. You got a wristband? You know what I'm saying?
Now for ops like eagles or jackals,
really
will alert the foragers of danger with an alarm call. And back with the newborns are the babysitters who keep the new recruits from wandering and going MIA. And the second they hear that alarm, they either rush the kids back underground or prepare to defend them with their life. And of course, to teach the meerkats how to meerkat, you have meerkat mentors. That job description.
They got God damn. These niggas got mercenaries. They got a patriarchy, a hierarchy system. They got the uppers, they got workers, they got store runners, chat. Is that a crab? That is a fucking scorpion. Bro, they got mentors to teach them how to be a fucking mob boss. Level 100 mob boss. Like, that, golly.
Includes passing down all the tricks of the trade, like how a scorpion minus a stinger is just free protein. They'll even hand a mutilated scorpion to the pups for them to hone their hunting prowess on. By the way, did you know that when you remove a scorpion's stinger, you also remove its anus? So if they don't get discharged from reality right there, they get put in a coffin by severe constipation months later. The more you know. And
so if you get stabbed by a fucking scorpion all they doing is poking you with a Bucci cat. Chat, if you get stung by a fucking scorpion, all they did was stab you with a Bucci. Wow. Wow.
Last are the pups themselves, and their only job is to not die. And
You
you're gonna
ain't know that? Like, I wouldn't think the scorpion's stinger is also they shithole, gang. You know what I'm saying? Snake's tail isn't they shithole. They got like a shithole underneath type shit. So like I would think, you know, it's under the body type shit. Lethal Bucci star. Okay.
Why just surviving meerkat society can be harder than Hefner. One of the most crucial rules of meerkat monarchy is that only the alpha female is allowed to have pups, and she can end up spawning 80% of all the infants in the mob. If one of her subordinates literally f***s around and she's the one to find out, the penalties can include the illicit offspring getting discontinued permanently, and even the offending female getting banished from the family by the queen. And with how meerkat mobs work, a lot of times this involves a mother evicting her own daughter.
Damn.
And when meerkats being used social, getting kicked out can be a death sentence with extra steps. So often the outcast will come crawling back, and sometimes she's allowed back in, but on one condition. The alpha female can and will force the insubordinate outlaw to breastfeed her children, basically using the threat of eviction to turn what's often her own daughter into a wet nurse.
Wow. Oh, bitch, you was fucking on the men in here? The only way you coming back is if you breastfeed my kids. You see how crazy that sounds? You see how crazy that sounds? It's either you go out there and die, or you come back and breastfeed my kids. What is that? What kind of drop, bro? I promise you, if some of these animals could fucking talk, they would have some of the best drama series in the fucking world. They would have, bro, I would watch a meerkat drama series. I really would. Cause like, bro, who the fuck is doing that? The only way you can hang with us again and be a part of the mob is you gotta breastfeed my kids. They're not saying that on reality TV.
The price of promiscuity is why most baby meerkats born will celebrate their first birthday in the afterlife. Pups not birthed by the alpha are at such a risk that some insubordinate females will even catch a case eliminating the queen's kids if it means giving her own a better chance. But it's not that easy. The meerkat monarch is so attached to the throne that she's even willing to exile one of her daughters just for getting too big and therefore being too big of a threat. Just like hyenas, female meerkats produce double the testosterone as males, and they use this to bully the rest of the mob into submission. A banished female does have the options of either trying to bag a bachelor to start a mob of her own, or just straight up trying to join a new one. But there's always the chance she gets violently rejected for her efforts. To put it in perspective, imagine a grandmother that not only puts her daughters out on the street for getting pregnant.
They used to have a show called What the fuck? No, y'all are joking. Y'all are joking, right? They did Meerkat Manor. Oh my god.
Not only turns her own grandchildren into a case number, but only lets that daughter live under her roof if she agrees to nurse her mother's kids, which, yes, would mean breastfeeding their own younger siblings. It's twisted.
Ow.
That's just how meerkats manner. And speaking of siblings, even your own roommate in the womb weight room can do you dirty. Meerkat pups will often square up and throw paws with each other, and even though these fights aren't to the death like with hyena cubs, there's a direct relationship between the availability of food and just how violent these feuds can get. Early on, meerkat pups rely 100% on helpers bringing them food, and a pup will start something with their own sibling if they see that one getting too close to a helper. The human equivalent would be your mom coming home with McDonald's and you and your brother throwing fisticuffs with the winner getting to eat and the loser getting to watch. Actually, we might not be that different. And if that weren't enough, there's always the possibility of a rogue male kidnapping an unsupervised pup to try to add it to his own mob.
What the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? You steal kids to add it to your... Nah, yo. I ain't gonna lie, they might have to reboot Meerkat Manor. What the fuck? You just forced to... Stealing babies? Gotta get your numbers up. Oh my god. Nigga really yoinked a child.
To be fair, kidnapping's rare, but it usually ends with one less meerkat to count. Now, everything I just mentioned involves politics within the mob. Inter-mob conflicts happen too, and it's usually when a foraging party of sand-seasoned assassins trespasses into rival territory. And like with every other aspect of this...
Nah, they deadass got it down to a T, bro. I think, to be honest, I think this is where the mob got its likelihood from. Like, meerkats was here first. They was doing this shit first. Mob wasn't doing shit like this. I guarantee you some Italian Guido niggas saw that shit out in the woods and shit. It was like, we need to fucking be like them. And that's where the mob came from.
Murder Mongoose's life, this too can lead to violence. The meerkat mafia will try to intimidate the opposition with a war dance. Now usually, that's all this is, just a bunch of aggressive posturing and a healthy helping of hold me back. But 10% of the time, words can't do what war can, and it gets physical enough to remove multiple meerkats from the census. And according to studies done in the Kalahari, almost half of mob-on-mob brutality is initiated by the alpha male. So long story short, males are usually the ones starting stuff with other mobs, while females prefer to keep their beef inside the family. All that adds up to 1 in every 5 meerkat obituaries being authored by another meerkat. Meanwhile, the much more infamous hyena has a homicidal hit rate of about 8%.
20% of meerkats die to another meerkat. We gotta stop this meerkat on meerkat violence.
It's to the point where you almost wonder why meerkats don't just choose to live on their own, since the biggest threat to their way of life is often another meerkat.
No, that's a cat in there. Yes, a little meerkat.
The answer is eusociality.
Wow.
SparkNote's version, it's a system where there's one female spawning babies and everybody else works together to bring up the children while also splitting the labor of the colony. Bees and ants are probably the most famous eusocial insects, and so far we can only name 2 eusocial mammals, those being the raisin of rodents, the naked mole rat, and mongooses like, meerkats live in the desolate, sun-baked deserts of the Kalahari, where grocery shopping is a treasure hunt and death can get delivered to you faster than an Amazon package. The mob system, although not perfect, keeps members fed and protected, especially the pups who almost always have someone watching over them. Their alarm system is so advanced that the sentinels have different calls for different situations with different levels of urgency. For example, the warning call for an approaching fox or jackal is not the same for that of a bird of prey. And like I said, the power of friendship is their best weapon against threats like snakes. In fact, the only snakes they really have to worry about are the ones related to them. So, when it comes to meerkat family, you can't live with them, but you don't got a chance in hell without them. I've called a lot of animals homicidal, but no mammal is more murderous and more of a legitimate danger to themselves than a baby-faced foot-tall Terminator and the comic relief of Lion King. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
That'd be big. Behind the scenes footage of the latest launch. Okay. Simone and Puba going crazy. That nigga really under there too. I want to eat a mirror. Okay. Alright. Hey, W video, shout out Casual Geographic, man. You know what I'm saying? If you actually were in the stream and seen the trials and tribulations before this reaction and throughout this reaction, hey, kudos. If you didn't, you just missed it. You missed it, gang. You missed it. Alright. We got us a Casual Geographic video. This is every bear and its chances of retiring you from life. It's crazy how he dropped this video, and there was recently a girl that was mauled by a bear while she was on a camping trip with her boyfriend. It's crazy, right?
One of the best ways to see how a guy's mind works, to really see what type of person you're dealing with, ask one question. What's the biggest animal you can beat in a fight? You ask that and you'll learn a whole lot in a short time. And in 2021, British...
Bro, swear they can beat a bear. Swear, chat, how many of y'all think y'all can beat a bear? Be for real. I can beat a bear. Me. I can. It's just Aaron. It can't. I'm like that. That's light work. Y'all niggas are delusional. Look at me. Look at y'all niggas are delusional. You maybe giving hands to a baby bear, but just know they mama is not too far. Y'all niggas is delusional.
Firm YouGov did a survey. There's a lot to unpack here, but mostly the 6% of Americans that think they could handle a grizzly without getting their existence abolished.
3, 2, 1, go!
Bruh.
And that's how long it would take. Bears are inevitable enough to be one of the few animals I have a one-shot rule against. As in, if they're coming at me full force and I have one shot in the chamber, I'm using it to self-medicate my exit off the mortal coil. I might not survive a hippo attack, but I'm for sure not surviving my reaction to one. I'll same-day ship myself to the Lord's door before I let a chimp handle me, and I'll self-subtract with the quickness before a bear makes me part of its business. Bears are the most conceptually inconsiderate creatures in nature. Basically a giant unhinged dog.
Bruh. Look at how he just ripped the skin off the fucking fish, bruh. And that's not even his biggest weapon, bro. His biggest weapon is his hands with the claws. He just ripped the skin off the fish. He took the packaging off. That's like ripping. He took the panties off that motherfucker. You think you beating a motherfucker? Shut up. Shut the hell up. Shut the fuck up. Niggas really think they out here beating a motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
An unhinged dog with every possible attribute maxed. Think about it. Nature dropped an apex, all-terrain CrossFit predator that can out everything you and just let the rest of the population deal with it. But what's the most dangerous bear actually? Well, today we're gonna be talking about every breed of bear and
Polar. Chat, put your votes in right now. Dangerous breed of bear. I'm going polar. I'm going polar. Poll? You ain't gotta really put a poll because we kind of know already. We kind of already know where you know. But I think polar, the sun bear, Kodak bear. None of them. You're delusional if you think you're beating a bear, bro.
and its chances of putting you on a shirt. Each bear will get a Merc rating. Merc standing for might eviscerate, ravage, or just cancel you. Yeah, that's definitely the K word that was supposed to be there. And as always, each rating will be in my very biased opinion. But yeah, call me Joe Rogan or a Grinder Gladiator. Either way, we are going down.
Look at him. Look at how he nigga walk like Drewski. Bro, wait, hold on. That bear kind of do walk like Drewski. Hold on.
Very biased opinion. But yeah, call me Joe Rogan or a Grinder Gladiator. Either way, we are going down the bear hole.
Hey, Drewski, I'm sorry, man. I fuck with you, bro. I swear to God. I swear I do, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, that was so funny.
Starting with the sun bear, named after the thing he spent way too long looking at. Those eyes stared at the void and the void blinked first. And yes, they're built like they barely qualify to be here.
Oh, hell no. What the these is humans. These are fucking skinwalkers. These is not no fucking bears.
Social anxiety that got told to act natural. They were recently involved in a controversy in
Look at it. It's a bear off Ozempic. That is a bear off Ozempic, nigga. Hell no.
China. The controversy was nobody believed that.
Hell no. That's a skin-walking Ozempic bear. Fuck out of here. Look at it. Look at how it's standing. Shit ain't got, bro. Hell no, bro.
Wasn't a man in costume. To be fair, they're easily the least coated Ursus out there. They're the smallest in the world at no heavier than $140. And be honest, how long would it take for you to guess that foot was attached to a grizzly's cousin? Those bare feet help them climb trees, and some bears are the most tree climbing of them all. But how dangerous is this identity crisis? Well, they're shy, reclusive, and mostly eat fruits and plants. They're also trigger happy, nearly blind, and they share real estate with tigers.
What?
Sun bears are known to attack people when caught off guard, and their poor eyesight means they can easily get jump scared by humans. They also have one of the strongest bite forces relative to body size of any bear.
What the F fact of the day? What did that say?
By humans. They also have one of the strongest bite forces.
What the F fact of the day? Let's see what that says. Sun bears are the smallest bears in the world, but have the same size teeth as polar bears. Oh my God. Never mind. I was talking a lot of shit earlier, sun bears. I promise you, I ain't mean nothing I said, for real. Like, y'all got it. Like, y'all really that bear for real. Like, ain't like no trolling and shit, chewing. I was, I just be making jokes sometimes, but y'all really that nigga for sure. Like, no hate or nothing. Like, I'm not no fucking hater for real.
Relative to body size of any bear, but probably only because they use teeth to rip through tree bark. There was even one case where a sun bear tiger showdown ended up with both of them becoming past tense. So what could they do to a human? Well, from 2000 to 2010, there were 33 sun bear attacks on humans, with the most common injuries being facial. But all the attacks were accidental encounters where the sun bears would probably argue self-defense. And to my knowledge, there are no recorded cases of a sun bear killing a person. So no body count in being the smallest.
Damn, look at them claws though. Hey, I know they call whoever got attacked by sun bears is getting called Scarface like a motherfucker. Them fucking claws, nigga. Do you see them shit? Turn shit into mince meat.
Also being neurotic enough to be a threat, I'll give the sun bear a Merc rating of 5. Next you have the Andean, also known as the spectacled bear. For obvious reasons, on paper he's the biggest land predator in that part of South America.
Oh
only
my
technically,
God.
because only 5% of Four Eyes' diet is meat. Like the sun bear, they're only really a jihad to fruits and plants. Also like the sun bear, the walking
They look like
spectacle is
pit bulls. They look like pit bull bears. That's actual factual.
very tree climbing, and they'll even build their version of a tree house to sleep in. To be fair, you don't really have a choice when your hall monitor's a jaguar. But don't think Buddy's sweet because he got glasses. They've been known to take out llamas, cows, and even tapirs twice their size. But how dangerous are they to people? Well, in 2004, an Andean bear escaped from a Berlin zoo and made a beeline for the children's area. What followed was one of the most gruesome displays ever caught on camera. Viewer discretion is advised.
Don't piss me off, bro. I was like, no, the kids. Are you gonna show it? Nigga got on a bike.
Apparently, the spectacled bear only has one human body on his record, and technically it was a hunter who shot the bear out of a tree only for the bear to land on him. I'm sorry, but if you fail physics that hard, you deserve to get packed up by Paddington. And yes, Paddington.
So what you're telling me is you aimed the gun up and saw the bear, shot it, and did not move out the way when a nigga fell? Oh, whatever happened is deserved, bruh. Whatever happened, you got to be the stupidest nigga on the planet.
Paddington was indeed a spectacle. Spectacles are also the closest living relative of,
a saber-tooth?
the short-faced bear. Oh, the
what the
duality.
fuck?
But considering the only casualty was more to slapstick than a homicidal bear, I give the spectacled beast a Merc rating of 2. And now we're at the panda portion, which might confuse some since there's a genuine corner of the internet that'll tell you that pandas aren't actually bears. They'll sooner believe China has an obese biracial gerbil waddling around. To be fair,
Yo, wait. That's a crazy way to look at them. Obese biracial gerbil is insane. That's kind of hilarious.
To be fair, being a bear but identifying as a bamboo processing plant is a questionable life choice. But one, bamboo is so protein packed that Ursus Oreo actually ends up getting just as much as wolves and feral cats.
Okay.
And two, binging bamboo all day means pandas actually have one of the strongest bite forces of any land mammal. Wild pandas usually avoid people, and there's currently no record of a plus-size eyeshadow cotton ball killing a human. But pandas will 100% lash out if they think you deserve it, often with life-altering consequences. Nobody demonstrated panda potential more than straight at the Beijing Zoo, a young panda named Gugu. In 2006, a drunk dude climbed into the enclosure to give Gugu a hug, and Gugu gave him an attitude adjustment with his teeth. After several minutes of biting each other, yes, Drunky bit the bear. They were eventually separated with a fire hose. In 2007, a teenager tried Gugu and got chunks ripped out of his legs to the point where bones were showing.
Seriously, if you have a strong stomach, look up what giant panda attack injuries look like.
The point where bones were showing. And in 2009, a father climbed over a barrier to retrieve
Again, not Google, but brother, save your life, lose your jacket.
a toy his son dropped. His reward was his leg caught in Gugu's vice grip jaws that keepers literally had to pry open. I really think if pandas didn't wear the makeup, y'all would not be trying them like this. The worst part about getting mauled by something so goofy is it probably takes a long time for bystanders to realize you're in trouble. They're the epitome of, I'm not a killer, but don't push me, and for that, they get a Merc rating of 4, because really, you get flatlined by a panda, you probably deserve.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I give him a slight 6, bro. Cause off Google's stats alone, Bearissy is insane.
Now we got the black bear, aka the fight back part of the rhyme, which is kinda true. Black bears are more likely to run away than run a fade. And after seeing them climb trees, thank the natural order for that. Although they probably only learned that from dealing with another bear down the list. Black bears are high-key champion generalists. They're smart enough and adaptable enough to live almost anywhere in America. Also, they're not always black, but that's besides the point. Moonlighting as a giant raccoon means they run into people more than the average bear, and if you look at the numbers, they might not be as harmless as the nursery rhyme suggests. Since 1784, there have been 66 times where a black bear and a human resulted in one less human. Pretty low, but there's more. There's just under 12 black bear conflicts a year. 52% are typically defensive, 33% were food motivated, and 15% were predatory. That number's interesting because that's actually higher than what you would see in brown bears. Folks now believe there's a slow but very real rise in predatory male black bears murking people. In fact, the first ever fatal black bear attack in California just happened last month. Male blacks, but black bears that is, they have a wider range, which means a desperate down bad male is more likely to try his luck on a hiker. The last stat I have is 88% of black bear assisted census subtractions were predatory, and 92% of those predatory pastimes were done by males. But when I say slow rise, we are still talking about one person getting clapped a year. Also, apparently none of those casualties carried pepper spray, so if you do that, hike in groups and put food and garbage away, you probably won't get cooked by Smokey. In fact, the majority of black bear encounters end like a Mormon liaison, where neither side gets touched. So, they're flight over fight and statistically harmless. But they live in close proximity with people and are technically more likely to see you as free pizza than grizzlies. So I'll give them a 6.5.
Okay, that's valid.
6, final answer. Not unlike their Asian cousins, and disclaimer, we're getting into the legitimately dangerous territory. The Asiatic black bear, also called the moon bear, is the first...
You see how polar bears haven't been mentioned yet, right, chat? I think we know who's at the front of the list. I'm just saying.
Honest threat to human way of life. They're way more on sight than American black bears, and for that matter, even Eurasian brown bears. To be fair, neither of them have to deal with a certain big cat. Like most bears, they're most dangerous when people run into them and the bear feels cornered, and for that reason, attacks are on the rise. From April 2023 to just November, 212 people caught the wrong end of Asiatic aggression from a black bear. 6 died, and food scarcity means those numbers are probably going up. In fact, that's why they're a problem in Japan. You see, in Japan, there's a shift with young people leaving the countryside to go make bread in the big city, and food-feeding bears moving into the now less crowded human neighborhoods. Now, it's never been easier to find problems with an Asian bear, and from 2000 to 2020, 2,357 black bear attacks have been recorded. 42.4%
God damn!
suffered severe injury, 1.2% ended up with permanent disability, and 4.8% lost the ability to exist. They're dead, and over 20% of those attacks happened in August, i.e. right around the time they're getting ready to hibernate. There was even a case earlier.
Oh, they was trying to eat. They trying to get full and fluffy before it's time to hibernate, bruh.
This year where a man had to negotiate his arm with a Swiss knife after the Asian variety refused to let him go. Since this is the first bear that is a somewhat regular threat to people, I'm gonna give the Asiatic black bear a 7.5. Although the whole bear bile farming thing, we probably had it coming. And now we get to my honest inspiration for this video, the brown bear. But honestly, first I'm gonna clear something up. The grizzly bear is a subspecies of the brown bear, kind of like how the Arctic wolf is an offshoot of the gray guy. The grizzly is basically a landlocked brown bear. They're further inland, and their grocery list is a lot shorter, which is why, even though they're the most famous, grizzlies aren't even the biggest bears.
Y'all are telling me, you niggas are telling me you're beating this motherfucker in hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, suck my dick. You're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. Look at this nigga. You're not beating this, bro. You need a crazy blick and some, and some distance. You need a good gun and some distance to beat this nigga. If it's hand to hand, or even if you got a good gun and you're too close, you're probably cooked, nigga. Not even probably, you are. Get the fuck out of here.
They're smaller than the The Kamchatka bear dwarfs grizzlies, mostly because of the fresh supply of salmon they get from shacking up on the Kamchatka Peninsula, which actually has the highest density of brown bears on the planet. There's like 20,000 of them there. And of course, what y'all know about...
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know, look at how he's fucking dominating that rock, bruh.
The Kodiak bear, named after the Kodiak...
Gotcha, nigga! Yeah. Say, yeah, it's dangerous, but not as dangerous as that motherfucking polar. Get the fuck out of here.
Islands nature was forced to vault it on. They can outweigh a grizzly by almost 500 pounds.
God
That's
damn!
purely off the pescatarian. That is a whole mountain of a bear. Grizzly bears are smaller, but the higher competition and being gate-kept from coastal calories makes them that much more aggressive. Which makes them, and I don't like to curse that much, my mom watches me, but that is a fucking problem. They're like a predatory Thanos. Your demise is inevitable if they greenlight it. They have jaws that can crush a bowling ball. Pause that mean. You're a high five away from inevitable if they greenlight it. They have jaws.
That paw is the size of her chest. From shoulder to shoulder. That paw is the size of her body, bro. You're not beating that, man. Whole face? That shit clears her face. It clears her face in 3 claws. There's still additional claws on this side, bro. There's still so much foot left. You're not beating that, bro.
I mean, you're a high five away from balling like Emmanuel Hansel. I've seen them punk entire wolf packs out of food, and they might be the only thing alive that can choke slam a moose. There's only one video
Choke
that
slam a fucking moose. Shut up. Look at how he got the
food, and they might be the
got the moose pinned down like a little slut.
only thing alive that can choke slam.
Look! Get the fuck out of here.
There's only one video that truly encapsulates how fornicated you are if a grizzly chases you. Well, other than this. Here you have a grizzly running, and way, wow, we're still going. Oh, right there, that's the caribou he's after. Keep in mind, this is the 30-second mark of the video. About 4 minutes was all it took for the seed of Santa to get packed up like a Christmas present and turned into part of the past. But how dangerous are brown bears actually? Since 1784, there have been only 82 fatal brown bear conflicts in North America. Yellowstone surprisingly only has 8. From 2000 to 2015, there were a recorded 664 brown bear attacks around the world, with 95 flatlines. Of these attacks, 17% involved someone with a dog, 10% were after a bear got shot or trapped, aka the person had it coming, 20% were sudden encounters, and an overwhelming 47% involved a female with a cub, proving that the only thing more dangerous than the bear
is a child.
No.
Boom, a child.
Really, numbers say there's only 11 brown bear attacks in North America a year, 40 if we're talking worldwide. In fact, the chances of getting murked by a brown bear in Yellowstone are 1 in 2.1 million.
Damn.
I do think bears suffer a lot from shark syndrome, where the attacks might not happen often, but when they do, they're usually graphic enough to go international. At the same time, the worst case scenario scares me more than death itself, so brown bears, specifically grizzly bears, get a merc rating of 8. Make that an 8.5. If you know, you know. Now, the sloth bear is a great example of something I always say. You have to convince a predator you're worth the effort, where prey will off you before you get the chance. Most bears see humans as a fellow predator. The problem is, here you got one that spends most of its life as prey. Sloth bears got tiger trauma in their bloodline. They also get plenty of smoke from leopards, problems from bull packs, and somehow the same elephants and rhinos that are chill-ish around tigers have zero tolerance for the baloos of the world. Add it all up, and you get a floppy-faced termite eater that's also one of the most violently aggressive animals on the planet.
Oh, fuck no. What was that? What was that?
You basically have a giant honey badger with attitude and all the tools to follow through. It's prey trauma with predatory hardware. They don't really know how to kill, they just inflict as much pain as physically possible. That's why many sloth bear victims end up with their faces torn off, since that's their go-to move against tigers. A trauma bear with chimpanzee tendencies means they get a merc rating of...
A trauma bear with chimpanzee tendencies is insane.
9. There's no good record of sloth bear attacks on people, but it's the fact that they live on top of and kill more people than other bears that outnumber them. This is technically the most dangerous bear per capita, and it's the one named after a sloth. In fact, one sloth bear was called the man-eater of Mysore after he killed 12 people and severely mauled another 2 dozen. In his defense, something like that's pretty rare.
A bear with 12 bodies is insane, bro.
It's believed the bear was injured by people first and then went on a rampage. Not like the last bear, which is one of the few animals to see humans as prey. I'm gonna kill the suspense right now. The polar bear is a 10. From 8. I'm gonna kill the suspense right now. The polar bear is a 10. From 1870 to 2014, only 20 people have been killed by polar bears out of 73 attacks, but it's the frequency that's scary. What do I mean? Well, over 60% of attacks happened between 1960 and 2009. 20% happened from 2010 to 2014. That means in this study, 20% of all polar bear attacks happened in less than 3% of the time, and that less than 3% was in the last 4 years. The polar bear is the only bear that classifies as a hyper-carnivore, and they'll try anything from walruses to reindeer, and they'll even body a beluga whale. As you know, polar bears are one of the rare animals that'll actively hunt people. It's true what they say. If you see a polar bear in the wild, your expiration date's already stamped. They can smell a seal from almost 20 miles away, so you know when ice bear pulls up.
Smelling a seal from 20 fucking miles? Jesus.
It's no mistake. The Arctic op is such a threat. In Churchill, Manitoba, it's common courtesy to leave car doors unlocked in case someone needs a 4-wheeled panic room from a polar bear. The same place, by the way, that has the Churchill Polar Bear Detention Center. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an air-conditioned temporary holding cell for polar bears that get way too comfortable around people. No other bear is more of a certified homicide.
They have a prison? There's a prison for the polar bears, bro.
You make eye contact. But they wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for receding sea ice, basically stranding a marine mammal on land. And like with black bears, it's a starving, desperate rogue males that are most likely to turn a human into a hashtag. And that's kind of the thing, every bear on this list would easily put humans at a 10. Like I said, Asiatic black bears are the most common victims of bear bile farms. Sloth bears are often kept as dancing tourist traps, which involves brutal maimings and shoving a rope through their nose.
What?
Literally, through it. And despite the memes, humanity has done more to pandas than for them. Also, there's the fact that most bears want nothing to do with you. Literally, one of the best ways to avoid a bear is to actually make noise to give the bear a chance to avoid you. Most bear brutalities come from a bear getting jump scared and making a decision. Also, there's bear spray, but bear spray is a lot like a seatbelt. You don't get into a car expecting to do a barrel roll down I-80, but the same way the seatbelt makes the worst case better, so does bear spray. In fact, you'll probably never use it. Moral of the story? Yeah, honestly, the bear wouldn't even choose us. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you rock with the Merc rating thing, I actually have an entire book on the concept. 100 animals that can, you can read the title. And again, each animal has a rating based on my personal bias. And because today's my birthday, the book will be 52% off on Amazon.
Happy birthday, man. I actually might check this book out, bruh.
If you're interested, the link will be in the description. But other than that, drink water, cherish your parents. Remember, if it's white like a beluga, it's the last time we'll talk to you. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
W. Fuck. Fuck.
Nah.
No fucking way he hunted him down for a slice of pizza. That's some real hungry shit, bro. That's the biggest bag shit. I thought y'all was just calling me big back. That was big back as fuck. That was big back as fuck. Like I said, though, polar bears solo, they're fucking insane. W video, shout out Casual Geographic, man. Dang. But we back with another Casual Geographic. The boy that dropped today. This is why these fish belong in a horror movie more than sharks. What fish? What fish? Hey, man. If it's two things Simbees you don't play with, it's the deep sea and hippos, man. I'm good off all of them, bro. Hippos, that's land's tank. I'm good. And the deep sea, don't know what's in there, bro. Let's get it. What the? Oh, that's a. Oh my God!
Eu gostei assim, amostradinho.
You know, the greatest trick Hollywood ever pulled was convincing the world that sharks are the only things to fear in the water. There be monsters.
Look, bro. Actively look at that and tell me you wouldn't shit your pants if you saw that looking at you through the fucking water. Like, literally, if you saw this shit right here looking at you from the fucking water. Like, bruh.
In the last video, we talked about how sharks might just be the most misunderstood creatures in nature, with a PR team that works about as hard as a whiteout's brain after 6
Hey, we reacted to that with the Internet City Boys. Shout out to them.
rounds of CTE. They've been done so dirty, they've actually overshadowed the other ichthyological insanity spawned from Satan's septic tank. These are 7 fish that should honestly terrify you more than any shark. This isn't really to substitute one fear for another, but I do think these fish
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hey, I'm never scuba diving anywhere that motherfucking be at, bruh. Bruh! To go from this
substitute one fear for
to that is absolutely terrifying.
Another, but I do think these fish could make a much more traumatizing, nightmare-inducing horror flick than Jaws. And it starts right here. Those eyes belong to a pair of Arapimas, also known as a pirarucu. You've definitely seen them before. Does this video ring a bell? Definitely rang his. It's one of the biggest freshwater middle fingers nature forgot to vault, usually growing to over 6 feet long and 200 something pounds.
It's like a fish crocodile combination.
It's bad enough those are NBA point guard measurements, but the beefiest ones can get to 10 feet in length and weigh over 4. Bad enough those are NBA point guard measurements, but the beefiest ones can get to 10 feet in.
Bro! That bitch is huge!
Length and weigh over 400 pounds. This Jurassic Roid guppy usually eats other fish to go with fruits and seeds, but also birds and allegedly even monkeys sitting on branches too close to water.
Is it about to eat that fucking chicken? Monkeys? They eat monkeys?
and seeds, but also birds and allegedly
I really don't want to see it eat that chicken.
even monkeys sitting on branches too close to water. And if you don't believe that, it's because you haven't seen them hunt. They're explosively quick, and the aquatic black hole has been known to confuse feet for fish and violently pull people underwater. One zookeeper reportedly made the mistake of trying to retrieve a glove that had fallen into an arapaima pool, and in a split second got his hand, wrist, and several fingers broken. There's also the fact that a refrigerator-sized fish will yeet themselves out of water in self-defense. And let's talk about that.
Yo, that was so fast. That was so, bro. I don't even know if I'd be able to react. That shit happened fast as fuck.
Refrigerator-sized fish will yeet themselves out of water.
Bruh, you got closer. Bruh, hold on. Even in slow-mo, I think that bitch is fast.
Self-defense.
Damn. Got her, bruh. Got her ass, bruh. Jeez.
Let's talk about that defense. The plus-size bite jet is covered in heavily armored scales, not only tough enough to tank piranha attacks. Locals historically use them as nail files. They also use their tongues as scrapers, since these fish have teeth growing out of a bony tongue that can be used to effectively crush struggling prey.
Teeth growing out? No, bruh. Teeth growing out of the tongue?
Against the roof of their mouths. You know nature got in its bag when it made a fish that can breathe air, and the Antichrist of the Amazon has a modified swim bladder that was repurposed as lungs, meaning this flex of a fish can survive 24 hours out of water. On one
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Alright, now we need to draw the line. What the fuck kind of buffs did you give this nigga? 24 hours? Why the fuck does this nigga have lungs and get, bro? If the motherfuckers just happen to develop feet over time, we're cooked, bruh.
On one hand, that means they have to come up for air every 20 minutes or suffer the eternal shame of being a fish that finds a way to drown. But it also works out for them because in low oxygen water where most fish become slow and sluggish, the air merchant menace can pretty much go on a killing streak. Now the question is,
holy shit,
could an arapaima pack
oh my god!
While there's no indication they see us as a snack,
bro, blew his ass back.
Could an arapaima pack
damn
up a person? While there's no indication they see us as a snack, there are old stories of high-strung assault guppies effectively drowning people, likely by knocking them unconscious and leaving them incapacitated underwater. Not him, he's fine. You can unclench guidelines, he's good. But one man that almost wasn't was Jeremy Wade. He probably needs no introduction, but long story short, he's a zoologist who hosted the show River Monsters, which ended, but only because he caught every fish nature had to offer. But he almost got an early life retirement after a pissed off paima struck him square in the chest and nearly caused irreversible damage to his heart. Not only did this fish nearly have us singing,
no way, irreversible damage to the heart by striking the chest? That is insane. You have to know the power that motherfucker has, bro.
Irreversible damage to his heart. Not only did this fish nearly have us singing, the suspect wasn't more than 90 pounds. Remember,
oh, and they can, bro, they can get up to 400. This one was only 90 and had enough power to knock his fucking heart into a different rhythm.
Overachievers can press the scales at 400 or, 180 kilograms worth of kill a man. So yeah, the arapaima is a shack-sized, air-breathing, armor-plated predatory vacuum. Strangely enough, it's not the fish I'm most scared of in the Amazon. But we'll get to that. The piranha actually isn't. If you remember from an earlier video, piranhas might be just as misunderstood as sharks. They're mostly just scavenging opportunists that our childhoods convinced us were way more of an issue. Yeah,
they said, what did he say? He said the only reasons piranhas looked vicious when the dude that wrote about them is because they sectioned off the piranhas and they weren't able to eat for days. And then they threw meat in there to impress a guy and they were just actively hungry. So they looked more man-eating than they really are. Which is crazy.
Not say the same for their cousins found in the Congo basin of Central Africa. The Goliath tigerfish can grow to nearly 5 feet long, over 100 pounds, and they're what people were told piranhas are times 10. They're in the same order, but where piranhas are primarily—
Whoa, is that nigga eating an alligator? Look, bro, he's tearing that shit up!
And they're what people were told piranhas are times 10. They're in the same order, but where piranhas are primarily a swimming cleanup crew, tigerfish actively hunt for their bodies. And you'll find out, nature built this prehistoric problem to do exactly that. They have sharp dagger-like teeth that many swear are comparable to that of a great white. Although I personally see them as more conical, like a crocodile. which is a coincidence since the saltwater variety are their only natural predators. But of course, the swimming expletive has also been known to murk smaller crocs. They have eerily strong eyesight to track prey, special organs to detect the vibrations they make underwater, and they're strong enough to brute force their way through the turbulent waters of their hunting grounds. They're considered one of
Yo, that bitch is huge.
And they're strong enough to brute force their way through the turbulent waters of their hunting grounds. They're considered one of the toughest freshwater fish time left behind, and tiger.
Whoa. Oh, they can jump out the water like that. Went straight for the face. Yo, alright, man. Listen, bro. I think I'm good on the ocean, bro. I be liking real clear water, but it's looking more dangerous. Mike Tyson the fish.
The fish are even on record snatching birds out of the air.
Oh my!
Not just birds, but swallows. Some of the fastest and most maneuverable out there. Scientists studying them watched as 300 birds got permanently grounded by tigerfish in just over 2 weeks. They're so feared that in many places they're only known by one name.
Look at just the way it chomps, bro.
In just over 2 weeks, they're so
look at the way it chomps.
That in many places they're only known by one name.
Fuck no.
Panda, meaning the dangerous fish. There's even a story of a young girl wearing a belt made out of bottle caps in order to ward off evil spirits. Ironically, it did the exact opposite and attracted a tigerfish who apparently confused the bottle caps for fish scales and nearly bisected the girl. Allegedly. It's an extremely fast, explosive vice grip with almost zero prey
That's dead ass an alligator, bro.
Allegedly. It's an extremely fast,
like,
explosive...
if you see that part right there, you're thinking you're looking at a fucking gator. You see this? I'm thinking gator. I'm not thinking, hey, this is a regular ass fucking fish.
Vice grip with almost zero prey prejudice. And I'd still rather take a bite from them than the fish up next. And that's cause next is the candiru.
What the fuck
and
is
a
that?
lot of y'all already know what road we're going down. The candiru is a tiny parasite in the Amazon, also nicknamed the vampire fish for their habit of invading the gills of larger fish and scraping the insides to feed off their
replacing, is this the fish that replaces their tongue? It'd be like using their body as a vessel and then it like replaces their tongue. Is that this?
Blood. And with backward-facing spines and a powerful bite, it's nearly impossible to shake it off before it completes its liquid transaction. The horror comes from the legend of
okay, that's a different fish then. Okay. I was like, so what fish is that? Y'all know what I'm talking about though, right?
Being attracted to the chemicals in urine and swimming up the urethra of unlucky humans.
What? Wait, whoa. I wasn't listening. Wait.
To shake it off before it completes its liquid transaction. The horror comes from the legend of Candiru being attracted to the chemicals in urine and swimming up the urethra of unlucky humans and getting stuck up there. A fate that takes surgery to reverse. Imagine a serrated, sentient toothpick in your bathing suit business and you'll see why the violation with gills is so feared. But how much of this is even real? Most of the reports of people getting penetrated by peenfish are really sus at best. Apparently, they're not even attracted to the ammonia in human urine in the first place. There's a good chance that the candiru controversy came from European settlers coming home from long expeditions and telling these long, exaggerated stories to anyone who'd listen for status and attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but basically they were probably lying for clout. You have to remember, the whole piranha skinning a cow thing spawned from locals staging an event to impress the president.
Yeah,
the truth is, your chances of peeing in the Amazon and getting frontal probed by a fish are about as much as you getting meal prepped by a shark or getting struck by lightning. Oh, my bad. And getting struck by lightning. That being said, I'd rather get tag teamed by the pets of Poseidon and the forces of Zeus than have a bloodluster up my urethra, frankly. If the odds ain't zero, they're just too high for me. But I'll happily take a candiru to the manduru, then run until...
That nigga was panicking. He's like, bro. That nigga started panicking, bro.
Just too high for me. But I'll happily take a candiru to the manduru, then run into aquatic op number 4. In fact, I'm so afraid of it, I actually had to break my own rule for this video. The Humboldt squid obviously isn't a fish, but it's the closest thing to a living nightmare on this list. Let's be clear, at 5 feet, about 100 pounds, there are bigger squid. What sets Humboldts apart is they can hunt in packs of over 1,000.
Absolutely not.
That's 3 zeros like a Tony Snell stat line.
Absolutely
Nicknamed Diablo Rojo, there are old fisherman tales of men falling overboard, getting swarmed, and never coming back up.
Absolutely
There's
not.
also stories of them curiously approaching divers before flipping and trying to rip their masks off. But who needs stories when marine biologist Alex Kirstich can tell you about the time several homicidal squids grabbed him and attempted to drag him down into the dark maw of the abyss. It gets worse when you realize what exactly happens when a red devil decides to take you to hell. Humboldts aren't just highly intelligent, they're covered in tiny red chromatophores that they can use to rapidly change color in order to communicate with each other. It's like Morse code but for crippin' calamari.
That shit's crazy.
We don't know exactly what it means, but there's a good chance if a Humboldt confronts you and starts violently flashing red, it could be telling a bunch of others you can't see that you're free eats. So likely the last thing you'll see.
Hey y'all, this nigga easy lick. Come on, bro. Jump this nigga. That flashing red is code for jump this nigga. We finna eat good.
Is pulsing red before you get eaten alive. It doesn't help that satanic cephalopods are known for speed eating and are notorious for stripping fish to the bones faster than fishermen can reel them. Add a beak that can easily slice flesh and a bite force that can reportedly crack bone. And I think you see why I'm not exaggerating when I say I'll deal with every other fish on this list.
And they're in unison, bro. They're in unison. They moved as a fucking unit. They moved as a unit. Absolutely not.
Crack bone. And I think you see why I'm not exaggerating when I say I'll deal with every other fish on this list than a pack of predatory color coordinating squid. And I don't care what logic says. There's no doubt in my mind this squid would eat a human if they thought they could. Why? Humboldt squid only live about a year. That rapid growth in a short time means they'll rarely pass up an easy meal, even if it's their own kind. Humboldts are highly cannibalistic, and they will not hesitate to turn on
a bro, nah, that nigga came out of nowhere.
Humboldts are highly cannibalistic, and they will not hesitate to turn on a
freeds, nah, you're freeds, nigga.
Party. There was a study done off the coast of Chile that found that out of over 2,000 squid, more than half held the remains of their own kind in their stomachs. It sounds to me that anything they see as weaker than them is something they can feed off, and the only saving grace for us is they usually only press things smaller than they are. But you don't even have to be seen as food for affiliated squids to be a problem. Like a true xenophobic, they react to most things they don't understand.
Bro, what the fuck is that random ass gaping hole? Why is there so many holes in this thing? I thought the hole was in the middle. What is this back hole here?
Affiliated squids to be a problem.
So if that's the what?
Like a true xenophobic, they react to most things they don't understand.
Yo, that motherfucker. It's an inkjet. Damn, that motherfucker gaping, bro. Hear me out. Okay.
With aggression, and they've even attacked cameras and equipment and left them out of order. But to me, the most disturbing aspect of getting assaulted by squids is, even if you escape, if you panic and surface too fast, you can get the bends and past tense anyway. That type of psychological horror is what puts the Humboldt here, and wouldn't you know, emotional damage is another symptom of finding out about the next fish. Because now we got the stonefish. Not one of, but the most venomous fish known to man.
Oh yeah,
it's armed with verrucotoxin, and symptoms of getting stung include crippling pain, shock, tissue death, and even paralysis.
Oh my God.
Speaking of pain, you can be in agony for over 12 hours, and it's enough of an eternal jihad to cause hallucinations. Anecdotally, there have been tourists who've stepped on a stonefish only to beg their doctors to chop off the whole foot. Then there's the added threat of, if you don't get out of the water quick enough, it won't even be the venom. You can get paralyzed and catch a stage fatality to drowning. Even if you survive, you can still suffer permanent nerve damage and severe muscle atrophy. But that all wouldn't even be that bad if the stonefish wasn't nature's manifestation of a dick move. The most venomous animals on the planet usually dress with bright colors to warn the rest of the population
to fuck off, you know, like, hey, you know, this is, I'm venomous, don't fuck with me. That nigga deadass just blends in with the rocks. So like, you're just that's just dick stuff. Like, you're not even trying to warn me, like, hey, bright fish over here, stonefish in Australia, and guess where I'm never going? Guess. Don't guess too fast now. Come on, guess. Guess where I'm never gonna go. Ding, 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 ding. Never going to Australia. I said it once, now I'll say it again.
Mention that they're packing. Stonefish decided to do exactly none of that, and instead cosplays as a stone, only to mortally punish you for its camouflage working.
That is, bro, how would you even know? How would you even know?
Like I said, it's like having invisibility, but also serving a death penalty every time someone steps on your foot. Then you gotta add the fact that there are another fish that can survive 24 hours out of the water, and they
For what? For what? For what?
Have a literal switchblade growing out of their forehead. Yeah, I knew they were a problem ever since one nearly perma-napped Nigel Thornberry. A stone-cloaking toxic minefield of misery, but with stonefish antivenom being the second most administered in Australia, today if you get stung, your chances of surviving are actually pretty good. Not like the next fish, because for this one, there is no antidote. The stonefish might be the most venomous fish, but the pufferfish is arguably the most poisonous thing alive. Quick rule of thumb on the difference: if it bites you and you die, it's venomous. If you bite it and you become a wuzz, it's poisonous. And few things are more poisonous than puffer tetrodotoxin, which is 1,200 times more of a death sentence than cyanide. Tetrodotoxin interferes with signals between nerves and muscles, causing muscle paralysis and a total shutdown. And of course, the fugu blowfish is considered a delicacy, but if the chef misses a single cut even by a little, you're
It's considered like, what does it even taste like? Is the taste even worth the death? Is it even worth the death?
Instantly on the clock. You won't know that happened until your face goes numb and your lips and tongue get this weird prickling feeling. Then, you'd suddenly get a splitting headache and dizziness to go at vomiting and diarrhea as your body desperately tries to purge the poison. But it's already too late and you'd start getting paralyzed, starting with the hands and feet, but slowly spreading out. And by this point, you likely can't even call for help. Finally, it'd get harder and harder to breathe until you notice the room slowly fade to black, leading to either a coma, seizure, or just death. The permanent kind. Tetrodotoxin essentially flips a kill switch in your body, and there is no antidote. The only treatment is hooking you up to a respirator to breathe for you and praying it passes. The poison puffball is such a problem, it makes you forget they also have teeth that can bite clean through your finger. In fact, it's more than enough to violate a scorpion.
Oh my god!
I don't even know how to describe what they do to crabs.
Damn! It look like the nigga smiling too, like, no, this so good. Bruh.
In fact, it's more than enough to violate
a bite out of that nigga tail.
I don't even know how to describe what they do to crabs. Turning crustacean into crustacean with a smile, no less, is criminal. There's nothing funny about getting caught in that bite, with reports of pufferfish the genitals of men, and one case in 2008 where a Cambodian had his coin purse sliced in half by a pufferfish. And unlike the kangaroo, this ain't a myth. Have your privates out by a puffer and you might just get... So that's 6 of the sinister 7.
Absolutely not.
But before we get to the last one, we got honorable mentions. The fact that there's a fish that weaponized electricity enough to decommission a caiman and we just accept that is kind of crazy. And the thing is, it might not even be the voltage, but it's getting knocked out in shallow water that'll get you. Swordfish are one of the fastest things in the sea. They also have a built-in melee weapon equipped capable of inflicting life-altering harm. In 2015, a Hawaiian man was fatally struck in the chest while trying to catch one. Another man in Malaysia bled to death after a swordfish yeeted itself out of the water and also RNG'd him in the chest. Swordfish are also on record shanking sharks and even bleeding out sea turtles. The sheep's head fish. Really only because of that mouth. Trypophobia.
Hell, that shit is, oh god, that shit is crazy.
The Titan triggerfish is a highly aggressive honey badger with gills, capable of dishing out severe injuries with the same teeth they use for crunching coral, sea urchins, and even a carp-throwing starfish. The trigger might as well be named after their temper, and this 1.5 vibe check is a big reason why beginner divers never go back in the water. Speaking of big, the Goliath grouper. At 8 feet up to 800 pounds, the fish the size of a small car feels more like a leftover Jurassic prop. Lucky for us, most divers describe it as a gentle giant with the temperament of a Saint Bernard. Although a Saint Bernard didn't allegedly swallow an entire kid
my god!
Allegedly. But since we're on the subject, the last fish on this list are catfish. And yeah, that's kind of cheating. There's over 3,000 species of catfish, even including the genital jihad, the kangaroo. Catfish are like the trash compactors of the fish family, which isn't a problem until you see just how big they can really get. And once a catfish gets big enough, if there aren't a lot of things alive they won't try to eat. We've seen armadillos, turtles, and even unaware seagulls get bored by a catfish. That is insane. There's a species in France that figured out how to stalk and hunt bathing city pigeons. Another learned to wait by cave entrances to suck up any exhausted bats that fall in. There was even a catfish nicknamed Kuno the Killer who terrorized a German lake and somehow caught and ate someone's dog. Basically, they're all the I talked about pelicans being just in fish form. The question is, if a catfish has ever eaten a live human, and it isn't even if they would, but if they could. The Wells catfish can grow to 10 feet long and cap out at 300 pounds. The Mekong catfish can also get to 10 feet, and the heaviest one ever recorded was pushing 650 pounds. If there's a catfish that could stomach a human, it should be one of these, but there's a slightly smaller catfish that was believed to be a legit man-eater. In the late 90s and early 2000s, a series of fatal attacks on people in the Kali River had people convinced there was something in the water hunting humans. In these attacks, victims were suddenly pulled underwater in front of people, only for their bodies to never be recovered. In 2007, Atal Kumar was swimming with friends when he was violently dragged underwater, and while he was never seen again, friends caught a glimpse of something that they could only describe as an elongated pig. Crocs and bull sharks were considered, but the prime suspect ended up being the goonch. At about over 6 feet, 200 pounds, the goonch is usually smaller than the whales or the mekong. But it's feared that the practice of burning funeral pyres by the river led to the equal opportunists developing a taste for human flesh. And while it's a stretch to say a corpse-happy catfish could swallow an adult, it becomes a little less believable with children. There's no solid proof of a catfish catching a person, but they for sure can off one. The biggest ones can easily overpower you, if not just knock you out and drown you.
Them bitches
Not to
is
mention
huge.
the majority are venomous, with those spines putting both experienced fishermen and oblivious bystanders in the hospital. They also have a nasty sandpaper-like bite that can easily draw blood. But what really makes them a living horror movie is their intelligence. The ones packing up pigeons, they weren't always doing that, but they pretty much ate everything else around them and were forced to adjust. So it's anyone's guess what could happen if they gain a taste for humans. And with catfish being swimming tongues with over 175,000 taste buds across their bodies, yeah, I doubt acquiring taste buds. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your mother, try not to get catfished out here. If you'd like to see me swim with slightly less freaky fish, the full GoPro footage of me in Hawaii will be uploaded to my Patreon. And with that last second self-promo out the way, I'ma see y'all in the next one.
Is he petting?
He's blowing her bubbles.
He's petting a catfish. Oh my god. W. Shout out Casual Geographic, man. Always making bangers. Always making bangers. Alright, man, look.
You too.
No, that's Gaming Channel. See?
know, I'm sorry. I like it. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
Because I watch that channel. My dog for
You know what I'm saying? You my dog?
Yeah, for sure. What's good? What's going on? It's your girl, the gamer, and now, you know.
Okay. Alright, man, look. We got us a Casual Geographic. This is why this might be the most disrespected job on earth. I got some internet city boys, you know what I'm saying?
How are you?
Yeah.
I was just wondering why this is the first frame of the video. What y'all trying to say?
Well, what's the thing about the shoe in the foot?
If the shoe lace that mother up.
Yeah, type B.
Wear it.
Yeah.
Step in your truth.
Press play.
Sorry.
Okay.
What? What is what?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
You just emoted.
He fixed his hair.
I don't feel like doing this tonight.
They must not know who the I am.
I'm the baddest.
You choose the man when you choose the bear. How about we talk about that time women chose gorillas? This
What?
is Shabani. Shabani is a 27-year-old living in the Hiyata.
Oh, that's the dude in the Japan zoo.
What?
That's the gorilla in the Japan zoo. I think it's Japan or China.
Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin
It's about
Don't ruin it for me.
Let's hear
A
it.
boy in Japan, where his face card went viral and caused a direct increase in the number of female visitors. Call him George.
What?
He had these women curious.
What?
Yeah.
So I got a chance?
Yeah.
I need to go to Japan?
That's crazy.
Hold on. What'd he do? He said.
I think he got you beat. His eyes are a little bit more wider and rounded. He has great facial features.
Ty B.
He like a handsome squirrel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Thinker.
Okay. He do look real handsome right
That's the
there.
main
though.
guy they compared him
I'm saying the gorilla look. It's a good photo. What the hell?
I know. I was just making sure you was gonna double down.
to. Oh, and if you couldn't tell, Shabani's also a 400+ pound primate with a perpetual pump. Not only that, he's a loyal husband with 2 wives and children.
Okay.
That's a family.
What, loyal husband? With 2 wives.
Yeah, math.
Hey, that's my type of guy right there, boy.
The math wasn't mathing.
That boy Mike ready to go back to the job.
Let's be friends, homie. Teach me your ways.
Man being lusted after. Some of the words used to describe him were punky, heartthrob, metrosexual, pornosexual. I didn't even know what that meant.
What
I
is
was even asked, quote, would you go for a romp in the jungle with Shabani?
Oh my God.
Sinful liaison, that's harambe. At women.
He got body.
That's it. He got body
babe.
pillows.
He got merch.
But
What
you
are
wanna know
we?
the craziest thing? I'm gonna be so real with you. Every time I see a gorilla, I think about when Majin was like he take back shots from a gorilla for
Oh
$1
my
million.
God. For how much?
It was like $1 million. He was
Don't
like,
I thought
They
that
got the mini meat
Yeah,
stuff.
I thought that's what was
yeah, that's what he said. Majin was like, it's 3 inches, I can take it.
Right there with you, brother.
Hey, man. $1 million, $1 million.
Let it flambe. Call him Susan B. Anthony the way he had women showing up to the poll. Just kidding. Real ones know gorillas ain't packing anything but a room. But yeah, Shabani's looks transcended the laws of nature, and if I had a nickel for every time a woman's feelings towards a gorilla made headlines, I'd have 2 nickels.
What?
Which is too many more than I should have. One woman was a frequent visitor at the Dichar de Blijdorp Zoo in the Netherlands, and her favorite was a silverback named Bakito. Up to 4 times a week, she'd find him, make direct eye
4 times a week?
Boy, she had one of the remote control joints.
Every time they locked eyes, just...
Moquito.
She blowing the bag at the zoo.
At the zoo?
At the zoo.
She eating a banana in front of him.
Yeah, she...
This one for you.
eye contact and smile. I'm not even gonna explain how much of a gorilla middle finger.
Was that a fucking magician hypnotist?
And smile.
Oh no, he had a camera.
I'm
not
explain how
but
much
this
of a
one got a grill in.
What the? Don't you dare say it. Say something. Say something. Nah, you gonna get it your damn self. Go get it your damn self. Yeah, get up.
Oh my god.
Go on.
Oh my
Get.
god. Oh god.
Hey, man.
Shut up. Don't touch me. That's crazy. Insane.
Ready?
Play video.
gorilla middle finger, that is. Keepers tried to warn her, but she didn't listen. Her and Bakito, they had a connection. Oh, they connected all right. One day she smiled again and called him constipated because Bakito was not letting that shit slide. Bakito broke out and would proceed to put the beats on her like Afro music. And he jumped over a water-filled ditch to do it. Gorillas hate water. Bakito was fed up. He was calmly escorted back home where he lived well for another 16 years until he...
Wait, he beat her for no reason? He just...
Because she smiled.
I
think he took it as a threat.
Yeah, because they be showing teeth when they, you know what I'm saying? Dumbass bitch.
She didn't even do her research.
Boy, beat her like a drum.
He loves me. I can fix him.
Yeah.
Beat her like a bass drum.
He jumped on the water. Come on. He escaped to beat her. That's crazy.
And
went back in.
Peacefully chilling.
Passed away in April of 2023. His get back on his biggest fan / op was immortalized as a word of the year. And the woman, who I originally felt bad for, apparently didn't get hit hard enough. So what? I don't know. My first aspiration felt bad for, apparently
he remains my darling.
I go to the zoo almost every day with my husband.
Husband?
I even have pictures and videos from when he was only 4 months old.
Oh my God. I smell an ad. Is that an ad I smell?
So if y'all don't know, my first aspiration in life was to be a zookeeper. I even had a state-of-the-art custom virtual simulator to prepare. Yeah, that dream flatlined pretty quick. But this video is going to be about probably what my life would look like as a zookeeper. The weird stories, the dirty secrets, and the
Oh, wow.
Crying. Dreaming.
Talking. I know you want to cry all night.
Oh, that was
That was a lot of dookie juice.
That was, man.
One of her mouth was open.
She got squirted on.
What my life would look like as a zookeeper. The weird stories, the dirty secrets.
Yep.
Oh, they wasn't prepared.
Oh, they had wetsuits on. She didn't even put the hood up.
That's not enough.
I want to put that tail down, please.
Trivia the average person would probably know nothing about. Like, what is the most dangerous animal in the zoo?
Oh, he playing a dangerous
Answer
game.
just might surprise you. Actually, probably not.
No.
Born Free USA has a database where you can look up incidents involving exotic animals in America. And if you search up animal attacks by any species, in any state,
it's an ad. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
No.
I don't think no.
An AZA accredited zoo, you'll see that the #1 culprit are big cats. Because out of 101 recorded injuries, they caused 46 or 38%. Reptiles like Komodo dragons and bears like pandas got just over 4% each. 9% were marine attacks by animals like orcas, dolphins, and stingrays, and the remaining
I'm surprised the
13%
Marines ain't top.
were just other being something like a kid falling into a rhino enclosure or a woman climbing into a giraffe pen and nearly getting kicked off the census.
Damn.
Take it with a grain of salt, because I thought for sure zebras would be up there, but they weren't even on the list. And I know for a fact at least a couple should. But these are attacks. I want to know what zooby's most likely to put a halo on my head. Well, in the same database, if you looked at every time a person got put on a shirt at a zoo, accredited or not, big cats did it over 40% of the time.
Jesus.
Elephants had a hair under 30, and surprisingly, bears barely even scratched at less than 9%. But here's the
Well, I thought bears aren't in zoos like that.
Yeah.
I thought they were. It's an animal, ain't it?
Well, the reason why I didn't think they was in there because they found in America. We gonna get shit exotic. Tigers.
But like,
To be honest, there's more tigers in America than anywhere else.
Yeah, because we captured them. Like niggas keep them as pets and shit.
the thing, if you look at non-accredited zoos, the big cat number grows to 47%, with bears and elephants at 16 apiece. And lastly, in accredited zoos, elephants actually took the lead at 47%. Big cats were the suspect 33% of the time, and bears weren't even on the board.
Tiger King.
So if you're a zookeeper at a zoo that actually has its stuff together, statistically, if there's any animal that erases you, it's gonna be an elephant.
Oh my God! He sucked him in that motherfucker.
Best believe a big cat might be your downfall. But also remember, if it does happen, it'll probably be your fault or your co-workers. Now, if you work at a zoo long enough, eventually some animal's gonna escape.
Is that
Whether it's a minor inconvenience like
I thought it was. It looked like a prolapse one.
a bunch of meerkats, or a code red dead to rights and murk on site like a chimpanzee. It's gonna happen.
Is that wait? Well, how that boy ain't in flames?
That's what I'm saying. I guess. Wait. Huh?
And he was doing that with a tranquilizer thing dart in him, bruh.
Bro, how he not on? He on the power line.
So can we touch him or not?
Oh, that might be a telephone line.
Okay.
Or maybe they cut the power.
They shouldn't.
He was.
They should have.
Fried monkey for dinner.
Action is pro-action, so some zoos do escaped animal drills, but instead of actual animals,
Really?
One Japanese zoo will have workers cosplaying as an animal taking a cue from Madagascar and breaking out. Thank God, because I'm not even going to tell you what I thought this was.
What the
But it's a funny way to remind everyone what to do when an animal gets out. That
Really?
being said, this would be a
this
tragic
gonna
time
work.
to not be sober at the zoo. But what animal's the most likely to escape? In my non-professional online opinion,
A bird?
there's two. If you want to test how good a spot is at keeping the animal in, you should probably hire the man of the forest or the orangutan. Fu Manchu was an orang that nearly got an entire staff fired because there was a solid week where they would show up to work and the entire orangutan posse would be posted up outside. About a week was how long it took for them to realize that Fu had snagged a wire, hid it in his mouth most of the day, and used it to pick his enclosure lock when no one was looking. And Ken Al was a hairy Houdini who got out so many times that the zoo had to hire rock climbers to find every possible point of exit.
Bro,
Them niggas is too smart, bro.
Too smart.
Too
That's
smart.
insane.
wait till they figure out how to use ARs. We're done.
We're fucking cut.
Say his words. No. Say his words. No.
Don't click that.
It's too late.
Don't.
Yeah, you're cooking.
Clip this shit, bro.
Yeah, good luck.
I accept it.
They didn't know how he got out, and Ken for sure wasn't about to tell him. And what did he do with all this freedom? Well, when he wasn't wandering the zoo looking at animals like everyone else, he was pelting rocks at another orang named Otis, because even
he got free for the
vegetarian
kickback?
can make room for beef. The other animal's the red panda. Do your homework on how hard it is to keep this red face.
Do your homework on J-Main.
Yeah.
The panda that get escaped all the time. Do
Yeah,
your homework on
that
J-Main.
Raccoon in. A quick Google search will tell you that a red panda escape has made
On Shower at Wolverine.
the news at least once in 1978, 2005, 2007, 2008, 2009,
Damn!
2012, 2013.
They are
Damn!
artists.
More. My favorite was Red Panda Rusty slipping out the Smithsonian and walking the streets of Washington, D.C.
I want a red panda.
So yeah, if your job's keeping a ninja panda or
They look like foxes though. Why they called pandas?
That's a good question.
I feel like he said it one time in a video. I can't remember.
Cause that show looked like a fox, a chubby ass fox.
Yeah.
a Cheeto flavored gorilla in
the
check,
fuck?
you're gonna have a bad time. But some
That
animals
scares
are a
kids.
great time to
I
work
do.
with. It's often not the ones you'd expect. Rhinos are legally blind trauma tanks that'll buck up to a butterfly.
The fact
In
they
a zoo,
legally
it's a
blind
two-ton
ain't-
Labrador with the
fuck
personality
you
of a
up.
lap
Right.
dog. And they put the zoo in zoomies. Turkey vultures are
They have
unironically like
zoomies?
precocious toddlers that'll follow their favorite keeper around and play games with them. And cheetahs might just be the most people-proof predator of them all. In fact, almost too much for
Look
their
at
own
him
good.
tucking himself
Cheetahs get treated
in.
like the doormat of the savannah, and their life doesn't become a cakewalk in captivity. Oftentimes, the overgrown house cat is too anxious to even think about making more cheetahs. So, some cheetahs get emotional support dogs. So the dogs are assigned.
I know you fucking lying.
Yep. It's adorable.
It is. That's some adorable ass shit.
It's adorable.
But like, you a predator for real.
Yeah.
He really soft.
Step your game up,
He
bro.
really soft.
It's like when like a big buff nigga get like a chihuahua or something.
This the fastest niggas on earth? That's a crazy image. We gonna get you a Shih Tzu.
Juicy bark. Juicy.
Set it
Get him,
off,
Juicy.
That nigga probably vicious as hell. Too.
Hell
The
yeah.
cheetahs as cubs, and the idea is they become a bonded pair with the cheetah
hell.
seeing
Oh,
Fido
watch
as a role
yourself.
model to mirror and take social cues from. It's literal emotional support because if the introvert cat sees that the dog isn't stressed or pressed, it allows them to chill out, or at least enough to motivate them to multiply without a calculator. And to make it even more wholesome,
really
a lot of
playing.
zoos like the one in San Diego will use dogs rescued from kill shelters. Definitely one of the top 5 animal
So they can
friendships.
die again?
It's not even the only one
Well,
in
I
San
mean-
Diego. This is Zari the zebra, also from the San Diego Zoo. And this is her best friend, Sophia. You see, Zari doesn't just live there. She's one of the ambassadors for the zoo, spreading smiles and awareness. But I'm also guessing you can't really have your ambassador around other zebras because, let's just say that might not be the best influence. So in comes Sophia, a miniature Mediterranean donkey and Zari's roommate and best friend. To say they're inseparable would be a massive understatement.
Keep her from murking niggas.
Black and white ass.
Okay. Right?
Type in.
Right, yeah.
Respectfully. Anytime I
And
see
while I
a
can't-
zebra, I think of Kevin Hart.
A deer, bro.
A deer, bro. It's a fucking deer, bro. On the highway.
Hey man, you think they white with black stripes or black with like?
I think they black with a white.
Well,
Cause like if you look at the hoofs,
they black.
They black.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they black.
And the
with
hooves
white.
are always black, so I say it's black with white stripes.
Type shit. Yeah. But what if that's like they feet? You know what I'm saying? But they like really born white type shit. Like,
How they look when they come out?
I don't know.
I don't think they got stripes like that when they come out.
I never seen a freshly born one.
You know what's scary about these mugs?
Yeah.
You look like you could beat them up, but you get kicked by one of them joints. You're
You're
done.
done.
Cooked.
It's like getting shot by a shotgun.
Done.
Boom! Ah! Ah! Chest! Ah! I was giving you a carrot, man!
Hey man, they don't give a fuck.
Can't exactly tell you who's influencing who. Just know Zari and Sophia give any cheetah
niggas
dog
playing
duo a run
tag.
for
And
their
look, she playing with him.
She thinks she playing. They ain't worry about
Video
you.
of a panda struggling to break bamboo. Well, that's Meng, and he's not struggling. The story goes, he was hand-raised by humans his entire life, and while a 250-pound bear might have no problem snapping sticks, a weaker human will. So apparently years of watching the surrogates get humbled.
Oh, he faking.
He's like, ugh.
It's necessary to break it. You can even find videos where he breaks it, starts eating, realizes he forgot to struggle, just to grimace and continue.
Oh
Pandas
my
are a lot of
God.
things, and apparently Good at Simon Says is one of them. They're also by far the most expensive animal you'll see in a zoo. Any American zoo that
can
wants a
imagine.
panda will have to pay a small annual leasing fee of up to $1 million, along with $600,000 for every cub born there. Add the millions to
Boy, I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
I ain't gonna lie, boy.
Fucking-
Where they at? They in Asia?
Hey, we
Boy, I'm about to capture 30 of them niggas. Hey, what's good, dog?
we finna get a bear
Right.
painted black and white.
Mmm.
Make sure we keep up with the dye routine. You feel me?
Get on Amazon, find some body paint.
You got the right fucking idea,
no,
man.
I'm not getting close to no bear.
Yeah,
What?
don't
get
need
a
it.
cub. Get a cub.
Bro, that mean we either gotta get next to a black bear or a brown.
You don't need a fucking bear out the jungle, nigga. You here?
Okay, you fucking.
to build their enclosures and the thousands spent feeding them, and the black and white bamboo bear is about 5 times more expensive than second place. And that's literally the biggest thing alive with legs. And best believe they know it. You might never meet a more high maintenance.
NBA young panda.
Carl, what do you mean I can't have no more?
No more.
What are
In
these portions?
2014, the Chengdu research base set up a live stream so viewers could watch expecting mother. Oh, these names are killing me. Hin bring another panda into the world. It was then canceled after it was discovered she had faked her pregnancy. So the same animal that got its brain nerfed by nature figured out that if they can play pregnant even after the hormones wear off, they can finesse preferential treatment. And they're not wrong. If future pandas are moved to a single with AC, they get round-the-clock care and more fruits and bamboo. Quite frankly, I don't blame the bears for working smarter. But it gets even crazier.
Type shit.
Did you know pandas can be bougie?
Without them circles, boy, them mugs would be terrifying.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at that face.
Yeah. If
that mug,
eye circles.
Yeah.
If that mug,
just a black void of an eye.
Just all white. Boy, that'd be terrifying.
He's just looking at you. Just
blame the bears for working smarter. But it gets
can't even break eye contact.
Did you know pandas can be bougie? Mei Lun and Mei Hun were two pandas born and raised in the Atlanta Zoo, but were sent back to China in 2013. The only problem? They refused to eat any traditional Chinese meals, only American. They were not rocking with the wo without. They wanted biscuits and cookies. And pandas aren't even the only ones to pull some stuff like this. Japan's Akone-en was used to feeding their residents aji, or Japanese horse mackerel. But thanks to inflation, they decided to cut costs by switching to a cheaper alternative, saba. And wouldn't you know, the penguin with king in its name
that shit out my face
like a peasant, since them and the otters refused to substitute. You see, that's the part of zookeeping they don't tell you. All that time spent preparing fish, slaving away while the stench of your profession dents your social life, just for an uppity tuxedo chicken to choose hunger strike. Man, you know they
this
don't
ain't
get
my
paid
shit.
enough for that. Literally, the only compromise was mixing the cheap fish with
that shit on my face.
As you can see, some animals are way more high maintenance than others, but some are too difficult to even exist in zoos. Think about it. Think of all the zoos you've ever been to and try to see if you can come up with any notable absences.
Wait. I only been to like one or two, so like
I haven't been to one in a while.
I seen all the ones I can think of, like rhinos and shit, and elephants and giraffes and all that stuff. But what's not there? Koala? No, they be capturing koalas.
No, I'm just saying. Kangaroo. Have y'all seen kangaroos? I'm pretty sure they got kangaroos.
I'm pretty sure somebody's
in like Australia.
There's too many kangaroos not to have some in captivity.
I know they got alpacas and llamas.
Type shit.
I don't know. It's some stuff that we don't think about.
Let's see.
Okay, time's up. When's the last time you saw a moose in a zoo?
Moose!
A lot of y'all, including me, probably never. You've probably seen bison, bears, bobcats, cougars. Yeah. I don't know I can speak on wolves, but no moose. Why? Moose have specific diets, they're built like a tank and of course eat like one, and really you can do everything right. They can still pass tense in a few years. And apparently feeding an antler warrior that can't even survive a president's term is a bad investment. So are leopard seals. You'll likely never see the op of happy feet in the zoo. Narwhals can literally die of social anxiety, so they're out. Tarsiers sometimes seppuku themselves in captivity, so
hey, there's more!
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a no-go. And they say dietary restrictions are why proboscis monkeys are rare in zoos. I call bull shark. It's definitely because Schnazi might be the most...
Damn, yo-yo. My fault. I didn't mean it. I didn't fucking mean it.
I say yo-yo.
Oh no.
I didn't mean it, bro. Because this chat be on this. I watch too many yo-yo streams. They be like, damn, the snout on that animator. I just...
It just an animal to take your case. And yes, my head's here for a reason. I'm not about to catch a nature restriction over an overexposed lipstick dispenser. Or they could just use fake animals, because it's not like that.
That looks like an old ass man.
Exposed for painting a sun bear and presenting it as a panda. That's sun bear, by the way. In 2018, a zoo in Cairo.
Thin ass bear, skinty ass bear.
Yeah, the ones that be looking like humans.
Skinwalker. Look how that nigga standing, bro. You just saw something atrocious, bro.
Oh my god.
That nigga traumatized.
Please let me go to sleep.
Yeah, look at his toes.
Bro, look how they curl.
Ew, hell no.
In 2018, a zoo in Cairo did the same, except they had a donkey and zebra face. 2013, and we're back in China, except this controversy was about their resident African lion. There's a lion.
Oh my, I remember seeing that. Oh,
there's
man.
a dog that looks like that, but they're really, I think they call it the bed mastiff.
That is a mastiff, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's
they're
a mastiff.
Huge and mean.
Oh,
but they when I say they're big.
They're huge.
And I'll never forget, I saw this video. It was an orange one. It was either orange or gray. I just remember that mug was tweaking, and it was on the chain. Right? And the dude was like, oh, stop. And he was saying, it was speaking Chinese, but he was basically like, chill. That mug said, Broke the train.
Oh hell no.
Bro, the camera turned so fast. I heard.
That nigga was running for his life, boy. Hell no.
But by far, my favorite counterfeit creature story is...
These dogs are advertised
What?
as panda dogs. They're just dogs, okay? According to Chinese state media,
They cute though.
dogs' fur to look like pandas to fill in the blank of not having actual pandas.
Oh my
That's
God.
If I gotta pay $1 million.
Bro.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Why I gotta pay when a panda have a baby?
Facts.
Right, because they was fucking.
Yeah.
Panda and got this.
I wouldn't be disappointed.
As long as I can pet it though. Like,
Let me keep it. Come here, fat man.
Still that motherfucker. Look at that fence.
Oh my
Probably
god.
go and spend more. Man, they got pandas from Temu. I can't even be mad. So obviously people are usually happy to see animals at zoos. You ever wonder how the animals feel? Well, someone did, and a study from Nottingham Trent and Harper Adams University studied over 250 animals in zoos to see how their behaviors changed around human company. Using hours of observation and research, they found that the animal most excited to see people at zoos, and I really hope this is true, were elephants. Elephants showed the most positive reactions to large groups of people, becoming
I really
more
want to go to
active,
like
more playful,
the
and overall seeming to
elephant
have a better
sanctuary in
time when
Thailand.
humans were around.
It looks
The other
cool.
people happy animals included cheetahs, jaguars, penguins, grizzly bears, polar bears, a cow called a batang.
Hey man, I think them polar bears was trying to eat. I don't think they was.
I ain't having food.
There's so much potential back there.
Servals, and black-tailed prairie dogs. And on
They
the
be
other side,
screaming.
the animals that seem to like human company the least were hedgehogs, ostriches, marsupials like kangaroos, ungulates like giraffes and antelopes, and probably most random of all, the tuatara. They have 3 eyes and apparently none of them want to see us. As for the rest, the vast majority of animals had no reaction. The study does raise an interesting question, and that's how the pandemic affected zoo animals. Believe it or not, some animals actually started to miss people. The worldwide panoramic left elephants confused and disappointed, birds like kias and cockatoos missed the attention, and you even had apes like chimps actively looking for missing visitors. And while the show often gave us gems like penguins exploring empty aquariums, or a sea lion getting introduced to a tegu, by far the best story to come out was what happened in a Japanese aquarium. You see, the eels in Tokyo Sumida Aquarium were used to people, but the pandemonium turned them back people shy, and those same eels would now hide in the sand whenever a worker or someone would walk past. The problem is, that made it almost impossible to check up on them and keep them healthy. The solution was the aquarium asked people to FaceTime their eels. So
that's
they could
actually
utilize them
crazy.
with people, like some exposure therapy. There was a legitimate time where you could have gone on a date with an antisocial eel, and the worldwide Panera brought a lot of bad, but this was definitely a bright spot. But now, zoos are back open, so here's some hacks to get the most out of the experience. Animals
San
are going to be
Diego
most
Zoo?
active on cooler, cloudier days, and they
I went
usually
to one of my first zoos. It was such a terrible experience. Was the fucking Bronx Zoo, bro.
I mean, it don't even sound.
Yeah. You got a bunch of animals in the middle of the fucking city, bro.
What was in there?
It was animals,
Like what kind?
but,
Yeah, cows and shit.
bro.
Also, you're gonna want to aim for a random weekday, since the less crowded, the better. Try it. If you can be there the next overcast 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, I swear you'll see a different zoo. And if you're a cat person, you might want to wear some Calvin Klein. No, seriously, the Klein is a favorite for cats of all kinds, from cheetahs to cougars, from lions to leopards. In fact, researchers have caught wild jaguars on camera by dousing the trap an obsession for men. So next time you're at the zoo and end up in big cat country, go ahead and spritz some of the Klein and see what happens. But yeah, that's gonna do
He
it for
ready
this
to
video.
fuck that
I imagine I'm gonna get a couple comments disappointing to me for not blasting zoos for 15 minutes, that I can't possibly care about animals if I still go to them. Here's my take. I've always said that zoos are capable of a lot of good and a lot of bad, but a lot of them are an invaluable resource for conservation and awareness. And while I agree, there are some species that are just not built for zoos. A majority of them are there because they literally would be worse off in the wild. Przewalski's horse was basically halfway down the grave, but it was the work of zoos that helped bring them back from the brink. Same thing with the California condor, and about a dozen more. And spare a thought for zookeepers.
Ain't that an impala? I know the real name is like antelope, but that's what's on the side of impalas, ain't it?
I don't know. It looked like it, but I don't really think that's it.
It really blew my world when I realized the car was named after the animal for real. I was young, but like still. Like, damn.
They couldn't even be original for
Yeah,
real.
that's kind of, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Mustang after a horse.
True.
Yeah.
Underpaid, usually overqualified, and like I said, the smell isn't just something they leave at the office. Not all zoos are created equal, and it's at best lazy, and at worst almost dangerous to put them all in the same boat. But I'ma stop yapping, drink water, hug your mother, support your local zoo, just make sure it's accredited. Matter of fact, give a zookeeper a hug, who knows how much they need it. I'ma see y'all
Oh, yeah, they was terrible. I seen that, yeah.
in the next one.
My dog.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
I'll get my boy Book, by the way.
Oh God. Oh God. He usually ends it with a cute animal vid. I'm kind of disappointed, but it's fine. It's fine. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. W video though, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to boy Casual Geographic, another banger. You know what I'm saying? Another top tier.
Good moves. Good moves.
Bust something, nigga.
Really enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
And check out Simba the Gamer. And Simba the More Gamer. Or Simba the
No,
Gamer.
I deleted that channel.
You did?
Yeah, I told you that. I literally consoled in you.
did.
You don't care.
I do care, but I really want.
You
I
remember
really,
when he said
but
it,
I
I was
really
like, I don't
want
even
it.
exist.
Exactly.
I don't even exist.
Okay, now I dropped a hard argument.
Okay, all right.